So we want to welcome you to the big challenge here. Raiders Unlimited, they take on Florida Scorpions. With the news, Florida Scorpions have won the toss. They've elected to bowl, so the Raiders Unlimited will be the team batting first. Very important matchup. Both teams are looking for some points. As in the case of the Florida Scorpions, they're literally out of the tournament. They haven't won any game in a couple of tries, so they're on their way out. But they could spring a surprise here on Raiders Unlimited and really hold them back. If Raiders Unlimited win this game, it's going to be a very interesting matchup in Group C. Joining me in the broadcast, as usual, is Brian Walters, and a little bit later on we'll hear from Nikhil Uttamchandani. But for now, Brian Walters, good afternoon. Very important matchup here as Andre Fletcher and Daniel Bell Drummond comes to the middle. And they have been sent in here. Ransford Beaton, it appears, who has been given the ball. This is going to be an exciting contest.
Some big names throughout these lineups here, Lenny. We're about to see Ransford Beaton, the tall man from your part of the world, from Guyana. Everyone who watches cricket, particularly in the Caribbean, knows the name Andre Fletcher. Hard-hitting Grenadian right-handed wicket-keeper. I don't know if he's keeping in this match, but he's a wicket-keeper batter. But he can score plenty runs in a hurry. And you know that there will be, for those of us who are anywhere within 100 meters of this pitch, be ready because the balls will be flying all around this facility. A great environment overall. And really looking forward to see a wonderful second half of the day's worth of cricket.
So it appears looks like Delray Rollins will start and not Ransford Beaton. We saw Ransford Beaton at mid-on.
Well, he appeared to have been marking his run-up, didn't he?
No, that would have been a really long run. So it looks like Rollins has made a good start. Fletcher just a very tentative push into the offside, and a very good start here from the Bermudian. Oh, goes in the vicinity of Ransford. Beaten ball bounces in front of him, and it goes away for 4.
Left arm around the wicket, angled in. Of course, you're always sort of rolling the dice when you're opening the bowling with a spinner. You have to be bang on target. And looking at the replay, this is just right in the slot. Somebody like an Andre Fletcher does not need any invitation to bang that one away for 4.
So better ball here from Delray Rollins. In fact, nothing was wrong with the previous delivery. Might have been just not runs for beaten, not judging the bonks on these bouncy turf. And Brian Walters, that's one of the things that the players who have played at the top level, they will have to get used to. The outfield here in the United States, sometimes they're not that level. And this one turned into the onside. And Daniel Bell Drummond, he is off and running at 6 on the board so far.
Well, I agree with that, but at the same time, you know, a professional cricketer is going to have to take advantage and sort of understand what the situation is and make his adjustments accordingly. Just tapping this one into the leg side for another single.
So Fletcher would have gotten a big score during the course of this tournament, got a 96 in one of the previous game. The Raiders, they have lost one, they have won one with a couple of points on the table. Bell Drummond into the onside, that will complete the first over. And after 1 is 7 for no loss. So Ransford Beaton has been given the ball. It will come into bowl to Andre Fletcher, Daniel Bell Drummond at the non-strikers end. Brian, this has been a good over from Delray Rollins. And over in T20, if you give up 7 runs in the power play, I think that's acceptable.
You'll definitely take that, particularly from a spinner. I think the advantage of bringing in a left-arm spinner to bowl to 2 right-handers is if there's any turn, that'll be going across the spinner. But Ransford Beaton has a whole different skill set. Good, tall, fast ball out of Guyana.
So the Spice Man picks up another run. A man who's still, in fact, they come back for a couple of runs. So what should have been just an easy single ends up to be a couple of runs. And so 2 runs off the bat of Andre Fletcher.
Andre Fletcher just warming up to his task. You'll expect that somebody of his magnitude or his capabilities, doesn't matter if he takes a couple balls to get set, because once he gets going, he's absolutely lethal.
So ball into the offside this time, can't score. Fletcher still a part of perhaps a West Indies call-up. From time to time, still a quality player. This year, the West Indies have decided to go with Evan Lewis at the top of the order, along with Johnson Charles, who had an excellent CPL season.
Absolutely.
Ball outside the off stump, signal wide from umpire Rogers. So things are on the way here. Couple of ball outside the line of the off stump. Adjudged the wide.
Ransford Beaton, when he came on the scene a few years ago, Lenny, I would have thought that he would have been somebody who would have been featured heavily in the West Indies lineup at present. Hasn't really been around recently. Oh, that is a good delivery. Had Andre Fletcher jumping at that one. Now, any fast bowler who gets a top order batter to jump like that will be thinking, okay, I just got the ball where I wanted it. But any good batter will want a comeback to that type of delivery. I would expect that you're going to see the first shot played in anger here from Andre Fletcher.
So ball cut away, running up towards the backward point boundary. And that's a good, classy looking shot from Andre Fletcher. You're right on that, Brian. Something would have to give.
Yes.
On that occasion, Fletcher getting the better of Ransford Beaton.
Well, here we go. Short and outside off stump. Fletcher just easing back exactly as the professional cricketer would. And didn't really throw the kitchen sink at it. More guided it, but still a good, positive response to what was a really good delivery before from Ransford Beaton.
So the Spice Man comes out of Grenada. Beaten out of Guyana. Ball guided away in the region of a Bermuda player, Kemar Leverock. So 15 on the board. Not a bad start here from the Raiders.
Good steady start. You get the sense that they're sort of in second gear. They're not necessarily going all out just yet, but you know, with the way that the conditions favor the batting side, I think the ball comes on pretty nicely to the bat, and the outfield is lightning fast. So there's no reason to go crazy up front.
So quality delivery here, good comeback delivery here from Ransford Beaton. That will complete 2, and after 2 is 15 for no loss. So 2 overs gone. They're batting at 15 for no loss. Raiders Unlimited having lost the toss and were sent in. Andre Fletcher, we've seen already a big shot from him. Quality stuff from Del Ray Rollins, a man who's played at the Bermuda level for several years and also performs in the English County League, plays for Sussex. 16 on the board so far. Daniel Bell Drummond, another English player. He comes on to strike. Oh, swept away. That's a lovely shot from Daniel Bell Drummond. And that has gone away for a boundary. Lovely shot. Ball sliding down the wrong lane from Delray Rollins. Picked it up well. And that's a lovely shot for 4.
Absolutely. So there you have it. I think you nailed it. The line itself was too straight. And in fact, he even helped to make it even straighter by walking across his stumps. And once that gets by the fielder in the circle, obviously we're still inside the power play. So most of the fielders are inside the circle. It's always going to run away for 4 in this fast outfield.
So Daniel Bell Drummond comes out of Kent. Oh, this one has eluded the keeper. We'll find out if the keeper is Leonardo Julian. It might have been. And that has gone away for 4 byes. So it doesn't matter how they come, Brian. It's 24 on the board.
Byes. Really interesting move there. I thought that for a second that might have gone down the leg side, but not given as wides by umpire Brian Kane. Satisfied that it was close enough to the body of the batter that that was not going to be wide. But you're absolutely right. It doesn't matter how they come to the Raiders. They'll take all the runs that they can get.
And the fact is, Brian, if you've done some bit of wicketkeeping, you know how sometimes you're blinded by the batsman.
Yep.
Oh, now look at this one. On the off stump, but making considerable bounce. And Leonardo Julian has been struck, it appears, on the shoulder.
Oh, that is brutal. You've seen that a few times already in this tournament. Sometimes the ball takes off of a good length on this jute matting. Every once in a while it hits just the perfect spot to generate that extra bounce. And that is painful. You mentioned if you've ever done any keeping. Here you see on the replay, I believe that would have come off of the pitch. Look at that bounce. And hitting him looks like the collarbone. That is a painful, painful injury. And listen, you don't need to have been a keeper to have a sense of what that would feel like. That struck him directly on the collarbone. And even though it's a spinner bowling, that ball is still coming, let's say 50, 55 miles an hour, maybe even 60. And from that length, popping up, you don't have the time to react and sort of protect yourself. He has the helmet on, which is a good thing. You know, somebody like Mark Boucher, the former South African keeper, his career was ended because he was keeping up to a spinner and didn't have a helmet on, got struck in the eye, and that was the end of his career. Luckily, this time, there was not that type of an injury, but it's still extremely painful.
So it looks like a support medical staff or the physio for the Florida Scorpion is out on the field. Leonardo Julian just making sure that he's ready for the next ball if he continues keeping, but a painful blow nonetheless. The good thing, Brian, he really got into position to take the ball. He did the basic. He did everything correctly.
Correct.
Boy, it's that odd bounce, unpredictable bounce that caught him.
I mentioned the ball was coming onto the bat nicely as, generally the conditions favor the batters. But every once in a while, maybe every 4 or so overs, you'll see one take off. You remember in the first innings, or the first match rather, when Shadlev and Skalkvik was bowling, one just absolutely took off of a length and flew over the keeper's head. Those are the types of deliveries that will hurt.
And the fact is, Brian, it was quite heartening to see that that one of this franchise team, local, domestic, had a physio to run on. So many times we've seen so much resources invested in local, domestic franchise teams. And there's, it's in the air, falls in front of the fielder. And that ball was hanging in the air for a long time. So Daniel Bell Drummond survives.
Wow, those are the type that if you're the batter, you're like, get down, get down, get down. And the fielder coming in from short third, not able to get to it. Put in the dive, almost like he was caught on the back foot initially, though. Had he reacted immediately, he might have been able to get there.
So a lot of stuff has happened in this over. The pitch has certainly served up its portion of the drama. Third over comes to an end. It's 25 for no loss. So 3 of us gone. They're batting at 25 for no loss. Enjoying a healthy clip at the moment, going over 8 runs and over. Ransford Beaton will continue. His first over would have gone for 8. Will come into bowl to Bell Drummond. Ball outside the off stump. A big flash, and the ball goes through to Leonardo Julian, who we saw in the last over. Took a few minutes to really get back into play after taking a painful blow around the shoulder area.
So encouraging to see that he stayed in the game, though, because particularly if you're a keeper, really if you're a player of any kind, that type of an injury makes it difficult to move your arms. Good that he's still in there.
It's a couple of good balls here from Ransford Beaton.
So not quite the helter-skelter start that we saw in the first game, Lenny. 8 runs and over, really. Right now it's down to 7.5. That's sort of what you expect in T20 matches these days. The important thing is to keep wickets in hand, because as long as you can explode towards the back end, and batters like Gaurav Bajaj, Anthony Bramble, John Rose Jagisar still to come, just setting the platform right now is what the Raiders are all about.
So a couple of good balls to start this over. And it's surprising, or might have been disappointing, to the fact that hammered into the onside with all the ease in the world. A long hop from Ransford Beaton, and given the full treatment here from Daniel Bell Drummond.
Well, looking at this one, Ransford Beaton not really running in and planting and running in hard. It's almost like that was a loosener type of a delivery, and a loosener at halfway down is easily hammered away by Daniel Bell Drummond. Oh, I would like to think
when you look at the fielding team, Brian, the Florida Scorpions, well put together squad, but they've lost both of their games. A squad that includes Scottish player Kyle Kotzer, O'Shane Thomas have been arrested because the team has no future in the tournament. Oh, cut away in the region of Leverock, and it goes over the head of the leaping Leverock, and that has gone for 6 off the bat of Daniel Bell Drummond. It's 37 for no loss. A couple of big shots in this over.
Well, he put his bend his back on this one, absolutely trying to get that in up around the face, but he got it a little too wide. And then Daniel Bell Drummond sort of staying leg side of the ball, creating that additional leverage to cut it over the top of third man for 6.
I was just making the point. Florida Scorpions, well put together squad, but they have lost all their games so far. And that, as we have seen so much time or so many times in tournament, sometimes the teams that doesn't have nowhere to go in the tournament could play spoiler.
Oh!
Off the back foot, he did well to take that one out. Goes into the region of Kemo Lavarock, and 38 on the board so far, Brian.
Good comeback delivery. One was just a half tracker at medium pace. The next was a good quick short ball, but a little too wide. But this next one, a lot closer to the batter, both in terms of line and in terms of length. And that's the line and length that you need to bowl to sort of keep these batters quiet.
So if Raiders win here, we'll have 3 teams tied up with 4 points. Oh, cut away from the Spice Man. And that has gone way over the offside. Resembling an earlier shot from Bell Drummond. But this time Spice Man gets into the act, and that's a lovely shot for 6.
Very similar type of deliveries. The Spiceman gets more of this one, though. Certainly a lot squarer, so that tells you that he got more of it on the bat and flying away over backward point. That is the end of the over. 44 runs is the score. 44 for 4. 44 without loss after 4.
So Rollins continues. And Bell Drummond picks up another run into the onside. In fact, they come back for a couple of runs, and so 2 more runs to Bell Drummond. They've started well. And Brian, they've put on 46 in the 5th over.
It's definitely started well. Now, 19 coming from the 4th over. So I made the point earlier that they were sort of starting in second gear, but they're absolutely turning it on here. So the run rate up to 11.04 runs and over.
Yeah, very good start from Andre Fletcher and Daniel Bell Drummond. And we made a point. We've seen several English players in this tournament. The likes of Danny Lamb, Samet Patel, Ravi Bopara, Pat Brown, Luke Proctor. Daniel Bell Drummond driving well. Could pick up runs here. Long chase here for Leverock. He will not get to the ball. And that brings up the 50 in fine style. A lovely drive off the bat of Daniel Bell Drummond. And the 50 comes up in quick time.
Driven right back down the ground. Actually deflected by the bowler himself. And Leverock having a lot of work to do running across from mid-on. His concentration might have been elsewhere, so he was a little late getting off the mark. I don't know that it would have made a big difference, though. He had some 30 yards to sprint and not able to get there in time.
So a very good start here from the Raiders Unlimited. They've had a good series so far. They're looking for a couple more points to join 2 other teams at the top of what we predicted, Brian, to be the group of death.
Well, the group of death indeed. Solid, well-stacked teams. Talent from 1 to 11 on both sides.
Yeah, the group of death still very much alive. Oh, lovely shot. Even a better shot here from Bell Drummond, and that has gone away for 4. A classy looking shot from Daniel.
Umpire Brian Kane signaling what we all know. Just a lovely shot. Inside out, over extra cover. Here we go. Just look. In fact, we'll go back a couple deliveries. That was struck straight down the ground.
So a couple of fours in this over. This over's gone for 10. And cut away through the offside. And 4 more runs off the bat of Daniel Bell Drummond. So 5 overs gone. It's 58 for no loss. And they're going at over 11 runs and over. What a start here from the Raiders Unlimited.
One over remaining inside this power play. Brian Walters, and in a very important matchup for the Raiders Unlimited, basically win and go through to the quarterfinals. A good start for them, thanks to mainly Daniel Bell Drummond, the man from England. Roshan Primus going to come into the attack. 58 after the first 5. What have they done well?
Well, they started sedately and then warmed up a little bit. I mentioned that they were in second gear, but the 4th over going for 19 big runs and then 14 coming from the 5th. So the man from your part of the world is going to be asked to pull things back here.
They're getting some steep bounce. Won't be easy bowling to Andre Fletcher. He's only 20 from 12 now, but we know what this man is capable of doing. 96 in his very first game for the Raiders side. And looking for Primus to bowl that back of the length deliveries. Had a chat with Ramesh Raja, who scored 100 in that first game. And he mentioned the difficulty of facing those shorter deliveries. They're just sticking in this matting, not really coming onto the bat. So that's, I think, a line and a length that Primus will want to utilize. And there's a wicket.
Wow.
Straight away into the attack, making an impact. Roshan Primus, and the extra bounce working to his benefit. Andre Fletcher, big wicket walking back.
How big a wicket is that? Short of a length. You think it was there to be cut, but maybe just that extra bounce that we talked about a couple of times already seen from the Stute matting. And just ambling to the wicket like he does, Roshan Primus. And that's a good line. Fletcher, you could probably argue, might have been, the shot was on, I think.
Maybe it just slightly bit too close to cut. And any ball on top of that off stump, always going to be difficult in the end. Straight through to the keeper.
In fact, it was such a healthy edge that there was almost no reaction because everybody knew that that was the result, that that ball was feathered through to the keeper. So the first wicket going down, Andre Fletcher, a big wicket here in the context of things. Andre Fletcher, of course, can be the most destructive batter on his day, but his day is done. 58 for 1.
So it brings Saif to the middle. A man who will need to continue the scoring. Luckily, they've got Bell Drummond there at the other end, who has really gone well so far to start this innings. But 58 for 1 inside the 6th over is a dream start. Saif Zaib. I'm very interested in terms of the way they've used Anthony Bramble in this tournament. Seen him coming at number 5, and I just thought, given him the fact that the destruction that he caused at the top of the order for the New Jersey Stallions in the minor league, maybe could have been used a bit earlier, but they opted to keep him for that late flurry and looking to finish the innings for this Scorpion side. How difficult will it be for them to stay motivated, because they've lost 2 games out of 2. They're out of this competition, but still, they've got real quality in terms of their lineup.
Well, I think it's just going to be the fact that, you know, regardless of where you are in this tournament, just tell yourself that what I tell both my sons who are soccer players, just care about what you're putting on film. And so you want to stand up and make a good name for yourself regardless of the position that you're in the tournament.
Yeah, opportunity with some other tournaments looming for some of these to make a difference. Should just be a single. Belgium wanted the strike, but we'll have to settle for 1. Need a partnership, and that would have been a big setback, losing the wicket of Andre Fletcher.
Well, Nikhil, the last time you and I commentated when we were watching Roshan Primus bowl, you chastised me for saying that he was an 85-mile-an-hour plus bowler. but he can be really quick on his day.
Definitely not 85.
I'm
Brian
hearing
Walters.
laughing coming around the commentary area.
He's definitely not 85. I can tell you that. Mitchell Stark would be disappointed. Josh Hazelwood, Pat Cummins.
I'm gonna stand up for my man here. Regardless, we don't. Let's say we.
Brian Walters, let me just stop right there. I promise you 300%, I'm 300% sure that Roshan Primus does not bowl 85 miles per hour. I promise you. You can even ask Roshan Primus.
Let's ask him after the game. Let's ask him. Oh,
Stylish. And there is Beaton though down at that deep third, but he can't cut it off. Quick outfield. And another boundary coming the way of the Raiders. They know the importance of this matchup and winning it.
if there was one person who would take up for Roshan Primus, I would think it would be the person who's from the same country as him.
Yes, that's all well and good, but come on. 85?
64 for 1 after 6.
End of the power play, 64 for 1, a great start. Well over 10 and over. So, excellent start from the Raiders, thanks to Bell Drummond, who's gotten runs in this tournament. He's going to be spinning to the attack.
Sam Wisniewski taking up the attack from the combox end. Left arm over the wickets.
Yeah, starting well. And now you have 5 feeders allowed outside the circle. You have protection. No Sad Bin Zafar, the left arm spinner today for the Scorpions. Also no O'Shane Thomas, who's bowled some extreme pace. That's a little more like 85, Brian, compared to Primus. Look at that delivery. May have just come back with the arm and almost going through the gate of Daniel Bell Drummond.
Judging from the first couple deliveries, this is the first time I've seen Mr. Wisniewski bowl, but I think he knows what he's doing.
Almost has like a left arm Chinaman action. This one has been spanked. But straight to the fielder. Well stopped in the end by Darry Rollins. Left arm Chinaman, which is now called left arm orthodox. Sorry, left arm unorthodox. As the wrist spinning, seen a lot of bowlers. Tabar Shamsi, probably the most popular one, bowling that left arm wrist spin and being very effective in the T20 format. So these bowlers are like a gem, really. You look at the difference.
It's interesting because the advantage sometimes to having a left-handed bowler bowling spin is that he takes the ball away from the right-handed batters. Obviously, that's the opposite with a left-arm unorthodox spinner. So you'd like to think that he has a good googly in his repertoire, because in order to take the ball away from the righties, that's what you need to be able to bowl.
Oh, too short, and don't think he'll get to the boundary. Almost was an opportunity for a catch by Ransford Beaton, who's very quick on that long on boundary. But in the end, should just be a couple of runs. Not a bad start from the left arm wrist spin at this stage when the team is going over 10 and over, just to concede 5 so far. Got to close out the over well though. He's gotten away with a few though, because he's been short in this over. They've been unable to pounce, and a lot of power to come. Gajanan Singh, Anthony Bramble, plethora of different options. This one though, very crafty. Excellent shot from Saif Zeb, and he'll pick up a boundary. A good way to end the over, 73 for 1. But if you're now joining us for the first time today, welcome in to the second edition of the Atlanta Open. End of 7 overs in a very important match for the Raiders Unlimited side, where they must win if they want to have a chance at qualification. Looking at the group where you've got 2 teams now on 4 points in the Pioneers, who lost earlier today to the Stallions. And now if the Raiders win here, they could also be on 4. A very close-knit group. What do you make of who's the 2 that can progress to the quarterfinals? Who's your pick, Brian Walters?
I've always had horrible success picking.
No. Don't sit on the fence, Brian. Don't sit on the fence. We need a prediction from you.
I prefer talking about these 85-mile-an-hour bullets that are coming from Rashawn Primus.
No comment. Wants to, and they'll get them. So good running by Bell Drummond. And the man that will be looking now to build on this start. We saw Ramiz Raj a similar start earlier today, and really and truly, one man puts his hand up in that top order, gets a big score, big 50 or even 100. So often you will score over 200 runs, especially when you look at the power that this Raiders team has in their arsenal. So just need one man to remain there and allow the others to bat around him, and that could definitely be Daniel Bell Drummond.
About to say 37 from 25 now, 39 rather from 25. And there's 4 more. Short and wide outside the off stump by Primus and cut away for 4. So maybe that man is Daniel Bell Drummond. Now moving on to 41 from 26.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible ball from Roshan Primus. It was a cutter and just looked to take pace off. Bell Drummond actually created some room outside the off stump, but just the positioning. Excellent to get it past Blake at point. And now 79 for 1 inside this 8th over.
Well, they're now going at the rate of 10.77 and over. So that rate gets them to 215. And bear in mind, you mentioned one person putting the hands up and the others batting around him. Still 9 wickets in the hutch. So this 200 plus is definitely on the cards.
They're very smart. These 2 are very quick between the wickets, but they'll have to set up for 1. A lot of options to use, though, for the Scorpions. Are you surprised, Brian, that you look at this team? I mean, just on some of the names playing right now, Blake, Primus, Delray Rollins, Kamal Levrock, Ronsford Beaton. Pretty stat lineup. Surprised that they haven't won a game as yet?
I really am surprised. Of course, the margins for error are so thin in this game. But, geez, that's a lot of talent that hasn't won anything yet. Good slower delivery. That one is only maybe 83 miles an hour, Nikhil.
Haven't seen Kamal Levrock into the attackers yet with his seam. Still have him. And yeah, definitely big surprise to me that the Scorpions were defeated in the manner that they were.
Look, these are all professional cricketers. They need to put their hand up and be counted. And even if they've not won any games yet, as I mentioned, they just want to make sure to make a good account for themselves. Just guiding that one down to Levrock down here on the boundary for third man, or to third man. 1 ball remaining in the 8th, still scoring at the rate of 10.47 runs and over. 7 boundaries and 4 sixes so far. At this current rate, they'll get to 209.
Yeah, it's an interesting angle as well from Roshan Primus, coming around the wicket, trying to target the body of Saif Zaib. So just trying to minimize run scoring. And he's bowled well in his spell, Roshan Primus. That one really followed him and unable to play that pull shot he was looking to play. So ends the over, and a good one for Primus. End of 8, 83 for 1. Winsky will come back into the attack. Bowled a decent first over. Went for 9 runs because of that boundary conceded on the last, but This left arm spin can be a challenge for these batters, especially Bell Drummond, the right hand at the other end. Down the track, and he's taking on that matchup. Just too short. Can't afford to bowl that line outside of the off stump when you have mid-off up in the circle.
Well, I thought it was going to be an interesting matchup because the left arm unorthodox spinner will be turning the ball. If there's any turn, it will be away from Saif Zeb. And he played with the turn over extra cover. That's a good looking shot. Once, of course, there was nobody down on the boundary at long off. So easy 4 runs for the taking there for Saif Zeb.
And all of a sudden, bowler under pressure. First delivery concedes a boundary. And now you have to sort of think as captain, how do you restrict this over? They've already got 4 from 1. This is a team in the Raiders that were successful yesterday. Pulled off a big win against the Stallions. And not many had them defeating the Stallions. Chased 177 quite comfortably inside the final over. Won by 2 wickets, but Daniel Bell Drummond it was.
Oh, look at that. Tell you what, he went for the reverse sweep again to kill straight the backward point for a catch.
Unbelievable, really, and it tells you the athleticism on display. A big wicket for the Scorpions because this was a partnership yesterday that was very costly for the Stallions. 72 runs between Bell Drummond and Saif, but now Saif having to depart, and the young left arm unorthodox spinner getting his man. Just look at the fielding effort. Had to take a low catch. A good one to dismiss Saif, and now the Raiders lose their 2nd wicket. Still on top of the things in terms of the run rate, but I want to build some partnership. 7 for 2.
Tell you what, that was struck well. It was really struck very well. Solid reverse sweep. Came off the middle of the bat and it was traveling, but a good sharp low catch taken there at short third man for the 2nd wicket.
Gajanan Singh, the USA international, comes to the middle. And we know how good he has been and is for this Raiders Unlimited side. You need to get a big contribution. This partnership will be very important. Got a start yesterday, 15 balls for 18 runs, but then wasn't able to kick on as the innings progressed. Still have Anthony Bramble, Shahid Ahmadzai, Bipul Sharma as well. So tons of firepower in the tank. But he will start like this. He'll be tentative to start, but definitely can make up for it. And got awareness as well to come out for 2.
Well, it sort of underscores the point that even if you're a slow starter, you can still look to pick up 2s. You get 6 2s in and over, that's 12 runs. So there's still opportunities to score. And by the time you shift through the gears, let's say by the time you're well and truly set, you'll already be at 20, 23, 24 runs from, let's say, 10 or 12 balls. That's a good platform from which to take off. And you're right, he does generally tend to take a little bit of time to get going, but you know what he can do once he's set. But it's going to be really important for him to continue to pick up those singles while he's getting to that point.
So the left arm spinner, good over so far. And it's all about the length. That's a really good length to bowl as a wrist spinner. Just allows the ball to do something. And even on this synthetic matting where you won't get much turn off the surface, not much deviation, still can cause some problems with Wininski.
Let's see. So it's changing as well, actually. So looking to continue over the wicket, bowling to the righty. Oh my goodness, that start-stop there. They could potentially have had a run out had that throw been a little bit more accurate.
And crucially, Bell Drummond hasn't had much of the strike in this over. So that's one way you can work him out. Just starve him of the strike.
Well, starving him of the strike, generally, for a lower level cricketer, you'd think that that could potentially lead to a rash shot. I don't think Bell Drummond is going to be that type of player, though.
Full toss gets away with it. Down to long on, should just be a single. But a good over from the left arm spinner so far, and a good one to end. So 9 overs, 92 for 2. So new bowler into the attack. Let's think Blake. Fifth option being used now for the Scorpions. What has been your most enjoyable feature of this Atlanta Open, Brian? It's in the now 3 days that we've had of this tournament.
I think the conditions that are so good for batting is something that I'll take away. This is my first time in Atlanta. Look at that, launching
Hit very hard and straight down the ground. And all about the placement from Gajanan Singh. So, Luke Proctor it is. Starts with one on length and not really going to challenge Gajanan Singh. Only from around the wicket. He could just hit through the line of that ball and with the wind as well. Goes again this time, another extra cover. So back-to-back boundaries for Singh and the Raiders Unlimited. And just when you thought the Scorpions would be beginning to pull things back with a wicket in that last over, Gajanan Singh showing his quality as an international player.
Just staying intentionally leg side and going over the top of extra cover. So to underscore the point that I started to make in response to your question, the conditions here for batting are absolutely perfect, and it's not surprising you see so many high scores.
This is going to be more runs down the leg side and 5 wide, so not great from the Florida Scorpions. The 100 coming up in this over as well, and we're still inside the 10th over. It's been a blockbuster start.
Boy, that one getting it wrong. Luke Proctor going down the leg side too straight and immediately signaled wide by umpire Conrad Rogers. So just a little bit of thinking needs to be done here by Proctor. He's conceded 13 runs already from two legal deliveries bowled. Gajanan Singh is being helped to get into form here.
Off the outside edge, but Beaton is down at that deep third feeding position. 5 outside the circle for Proctor. He's got that deep third, deep cover. This is for the left-hander, of course. Now for the right-handed Bell Drummond, that fine leg comes up into the circle. Does have that deep man, almost that extra cover position in Roshan Primus. Mid-off crucially up in the circle, so probably tells you about the line will want to be very straight.
And the length has to be short of a length. Can't have anything too full.
Should just be another easy single, but they're managing this really well, you have to say. The Raiders Unlimited first getting that start by Bell Drummond and Fletcher, and now continuing that momentum throughout the innings.
Bell Drummond now moving on to 47 from 30 balls faced. Really setting the table, probably playing the role similar to what Ramiz Raja played this morning.
That one really slow, pace taken off, and dot ball is gold in this situation.
Every once in a while when a bowler goes pace off, Nikhil, you see that little extra bounce that we're talking about. So that one bouncing a little bit more than probably Gajanan Singh was expecting. Sort of awkwardly fending that one.
Very short, gets away with it really. That deep backward square fielder. Another single, so 1 to end the over, halfway stage, 109 for 2.
So Nitish Kumar comes into the attack. Seen a single already. Ball pulled into the onside. A lovely shot again from Bell Drummond. And that has gone away for another boundary. Has he brought up his 50? I think he has. It's 114 on the board. 50 for Daniel Bell Drummond. What an innings he's played so far.
Yeah, consecutive half centuries for Daniel Bell Drummond in the last couple of games. So really batting well for this Raiders Unlimited side. Crucial knock in a knockout game for this team. So a lot of riding on this performance.
So definitely touched, and that one is running up towards the third man area. And look at that. It goes away in the vacant area. That's a classy looking shot from Daniel Bell Drummond. He continues to bat well.
Nice touch, showing the different gears to his game. First can be very powerful down the ground, and then open the face, knowing that that short third fielder is inside the circle and very wide. Able to get the boundary, so really good stuff from this Raiders Unlimited side.
So 57 balls still to be bowled. You get the feeling that we could approach another 200, as we've seen so many of 200 score in this tournament. In fact, it's about 12. And you look at the card, they're batting at 118 for 2. Nitish Kumar, this one off the inside edge, runs again here for Bell Drummond. Not a confident looking shot, but look at that, it goes beyond the keeper, and it's another 4 off the bat of Bell Drummond.
Well, not a good start to the over from Nitish Kumar. Not much done he could have been done about this. Off the inside edge, keeper Leonardo Julian already had no chance of catching that, so a bit unfortunate at this stage. The Scorpions, team not many would have had. It's one of the favorites really when you look at the names that they've brought.
They've struggled to put points on the table, but the Raiders Unlimited, they're on top here to perhaps go to the top of the table to join Stallions and the Paramveers. And Nikhil, it's going to be quite interesting. This one eased into the offside, running well. Gajanan Singh comes back into strike. We saw in the last over a couple of big shots from Gajanan Singh. And the partnership has gone up to 36 between the pair out in the middle. This over's gone for 14. Not a good one here from Nitish Kumar. Perhaps it's on the scores, the problem of restricting teams to the good score. Inside out from Gajanan Singh. Roshan Primus is posted in the deep. And so 11 overs gone. It's 124 for 2.
Nine overs remain. You think about maybe 100 runs from the last 9. You're looking at 224 with 8 wickets in hand. Yes, it sounds like a far way away, but look at the power of Bramble, Bipul Sharma. Just very gettable at this stage, so something that they'll be thinking about, and have to give the Raiders credit because shot.
So Gajanan Singh, a massive shot over the offside, and he has really targeted Luke Proctor from the previous over, and it has not started well here for Luke Proctor in the 12th.
Well, pace on the ball, what Gajanan Singh likes. And what was key here is he advanced down the track, got very close to that delivery, and just hit it so easily with the wind, and it just kept traveling. Already seeing some cars be struck in that area. They've got to watch out.
So we saw an over that had gone for 17 off the bowling of Luke Proctor. Given another one here, I'm surprised. And already first ball, a commanding shot off the bat of Gajanan Singh. It's 130 for 2. And Nikhil, when we speak of teams scoring 220, 215, is that becoming the power score on this ground?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think so, because this ground is not easy to score on by any means. It's a much bigger ground to the other 4 that we have at the Atlantic Cricket Fields. It's just, I think, some really good batting we had earlier this morning by Ramiz Raja and the Stallions. That was the wicket of Andre Fletcher. And then A really good catch by
Ravinder Paul Singh, the Canadian international.
Ravinder Paul Singh at that square leg position to dismiss Zaif Saib. So since then, it's been all the Raiders side in terms of with the bat in hand.
So Gajanan Singh, oh, into the hands of Leverock. And all of a sudden, Luke Proctor picks up one. He picks up the wicket of Gajanan Singh, who is beginning to look so commanding. But he falls. Very safe dismissal in the end. And into the hands of Leverock, 130 for 3.
I think he'd be disappointed with that. Very disappointed with that Gajanan Singh, because the way he was striking the ball, you really do expect that would have been able to carry on. And really got, you look at this delivery, yes, it was pace off, but it was on the body line. You think the shot was on. Fine leg up in the circle, but didn't get the power or enough on it to go over that man. An easy catch in the end for Kamau Leverock.
So Anthony Bramble comes out to the middle. I know you made mention Bramble batting at 5, slotting in at 5. We saw him not too long ago in the minor league series batting at the top of the order for the Stallions. A position in which he really flourished. He prospered well for the Stallions. And he comes in here and really tells you about the batting depth of the Raiders Unlimited if Bramble is batting at number 5. So Proctor picks up 1. And now he's bowling at 1 for 23. I made mention several English players appearing in this Atlanta Open this year. We've seen the likes of Danny Lamb, Samuel Patel, Ravi Bopara, Pat Brown, Daniel Bell Drummond. So the English boys have made it to the Atlanta Open. So new batter out in the middle, Anthony Bramble. We got 52 balls still to be bowled. They're going over 11 runs and over. Nothing wrong with the run rate. But Nikhil, having been sent in to bat first and realizing they could potentially get up to 4 points if they win this game, are they in a better position to manipulate a run rate situation if it comes to that? Full ball into the offside. Can't score is Bramble.
They want to win the game. First and foremost, Leonard Aichibar want to ensure that you win and then worry about the rest. So they need now, yes, Daniel Bell Drummond is there on 61. They need someone else to spend some time at the crease, especially until the 15th over, where they can then play much freer. It's not easy for batting. Don't be fooled by these big scores. On this synthetic matting, ball doesn't come onto the bat. What we would expect from a genuine turf pitch. So you have to credit what batters have been able to do, especially on this surface.
So Daniel Bell Drummond comes back onto strike. He has batted well. He has posted 61 so far. He's been there from the start. Started with Andre Fletcher. And a shot that he's played to great effect is to really slice the ball on the offside. And so far he's batted well for 61. Nikhil, when you look around the other groups, Group A, Lightning doing pretty well. Lightning and Stallion X on 4 points each coming into this last game. And of course, games are still going on all across the complex. Oh, trying to go cheeky. Will get a single and retain strike when the cricket continues. So 12 gone. It's 132 for 3.
Really good comeback from Luke Proctor in that last over. Conceded a 6, and then just the 2 runs of the next 5 deliveries. So left arm spinner back into the attack.
Oh, smashed into the onside from Daniel Bell Drummond, and that has gone for another maximum.
Really good shot. And what is so good about this innings from Bell Drummond is he's seeing wickets go down at the other end, but it's not changing his approach to the innings. just continuing to express himself and be very aggressive. And it's what's required. Just a bit too full from the youngster and had to pay the price. So excellent start to this over. And that run rate still well over 11 runs per over. Full toss gets away with it, really.
Yeah, another single here from Bell Drummond. He's played a very good hand so far. The Raiders Unlimited looking for that couple of points that will put him at the top of the table. Florida Scorpions will be hoping that they can at least come away from this tournament with some bit of pride, that they have not lost every game. Well put together squad, disappointing in the results so far. Anthony Bramble picks up his second run. Then of course Nickel not playing in this game with Shane Thomas, West Indies player, and also Kyle Kotzer, another Scottish international. So what a squad they've put together. Simply have not put any points on the table so far. Oh, that's a lovely shot into the offside. Fielder comes around and it goes 1 bounce away for 4. So the good batting of Daniel Bell Drummond continues as we await the signal here from umpire Brian Kane. Just to double check, he's gone away for 4.
Just clean ball striking, very clean from Bell Drummond. And getting width outside the off stump, trying to make him reach. But where he scored most of his boundaries to the onside. He's telling the Scorpions that he can also score through the extra cover region. Just opened up his body. The left-hand spinner bowling over the wicket, so favors that strength of his. Good.
So better delivery here from Sam. But perhaps enough damage has been done in the over. 12 of this over so far. Seen a massive 6 off the bat of Bell Drummond, and then not too long ago we saw 4. So this over's gone pretty well again for the Raiders. Oh, look at that. Cheeky into the offside, and this time he goes. So a big innings of 73 comes to an end. And it comes off a cheeky shot here from Daniel Bell Drummond.
Yeah, just one too many, but he had already got 12 in the over, so that would be a ball which he wish he could get back because it wasn't really necessary. Already 12 in the over, 6 and then a boundary, but shot was on again. That short third fielder up in the circle, but similar to Gajanan Singh, not able to get enough to go over that fielder. And another one bites the dust for the Raiders. So even though this run rate is well over 11 runs per over, they have to ensure they have wickets in hand going into that last 5.
So it's 144 for 4. The captain Gaurav Bajaj comes to the middle. And Bajaj we have seen so many times. Nikhil, he's more of a touch player. And he comes in here, a chance for Bramble to really express himself. 42 balls still to be bowled. Still some time in this game. And they've lost 4 in the process, 144 for 4.
Just to see now where the Scorpions go in terms of their bowling options. They do, of course, have Beaton, but was very expensive. 27 runs from his first 2, and he has the ball back in hand now. So I just wonder, you're taking a few wickets, you expect a more tentative approach with the loss of the set man in Daniel Bell Drummond. You can go back to Ronsford Beaton, try and just get his confidence up. He's a man that has played at the West Indies level, from Guyana, of course. And if he gets it right, he can be a real handful. Has had to remodel that action. Didn't get an opportunity in the Caribbean Premier League, but definitely know what he's capable of. We've seen it at the regional level.
And he comes in here to bowl to his fellow countryman and 2 players who would have played a lot of cricket on the same team together. Anthony Bramble. Come from different parts in Guyana. Ronsford Beaton comes out of a county in Guyana they call Essequibo. And Bramble comes out of Berbice, a country that has produced some top players over time for the West Indies. 144 for 2. Still 41 balls to be bowled. And Nikhil, what we saw earlier on, that this one is touched away for a single. Leverock has been a busy man at backward point all day. What we saw earlier on, Ransford beaten when he came in earlier on. He bowled the 4th over, for example, and he was too short, and Drummond a couple of times over the offside really punched him, one time over the ropes and one time across. So now with Drummond back in the shade and bowling to two relatively new batsmen out in Gaurav Bajaj and Anthony Bramble, we could see Ransford beaten bowling less than 13 runs and over.
Well, the key thing is, and it's a tough transition, you speak to some of the faster bowlers like Beaton, like O'Shane Thomas, who would come up and play basically all of their cricket on turf pitches. Very hard then to transition in terms of your grip when you land. It's very hard to then transition to this synthetic matting. It takes some getting used to, and clearly it's something that they haven't quite fathomed just yet.
So ball, the shortish ball to great effect. The captain Gaurav Bajaj can't do much with that. So way better over than what we saw from Ransford beaten in the earlier part of this innings. Look, he's bowled 3 balls in this over, he's only gone for 1.
Yeah, good thinking by the captain as well to bring him back into the attack at this time. You're looking for wickets. He's one of your aggressive wicket-taking options with that extra pace. I think he just needs to try one full at the stump. Misses his run up here. Just fire one in, full at the stumps. Test the defense of Gaurav Bajaj.
Yes, Nikhil, and he comes in at a time in which they've picked up 2 big wickets along the way not too long ago. In the space of 10 runs, we saw the fall of Drummond, we saw the fall of Gajanan Singh. So he comes in at a very good time, bowling to 2 new batsmen out in the middle. Now that's another good ball, turned away into the onside. Bajaj is off and running.
Yeah, don't mind that from Beaton, because you look at the field, he's got deep backward square, deep mid wicket, long on. You can afford to just aim at the stumps, and then you just, even if you get flicked away for a couple of runs, you don't mind that. You want to be aggressive, give yourself the opportunity to take wickets. Full at the stumps. Interesting to see how he bowls to Anthony Bramble though. Goes pace off.
Yeah, good over here from Ransford beaten, just 3 runs off the over. And the fact is, you look at Anthony Bramble, you put him to bat at the top of the order, you look that his intent has a lot more aggression in it, Nikhil. He comes in here at number 5, and he came in at a point in which they have lost a couple of quick wickets. And it looks like the situation of the game has really altered his approach to batting. Oh, a short one. Oh, signal wide from umpire Rogers, and quite rightly so.
It was touch and go really, but extra bit of bounce that we've seen. Variable bounce on display.
So 37 balls still to be bowled. They were on course for a solid 200 not too long ago. We've seen a good pull back. Has he gotten bat onto this one? I think he has. And that one has gone away for 4 off the bat or off the glove of Gaurav Bajaj.
Was looking for the no ball signal as well. Not given though, so Ransford beaten after what was such a good over. Last couple of deliveries. I think they were asking the question about the second bounce of the over, but the umpire Brian Kane deeming it okay. So we end the over. They get past 150 as well, and that rate has gone right back to where it's been all innings, close to 11, 152 for 4.
So 152 for 4. Ball swept away. That's a good looking shot from Anthony Bramble. His first attacking aggressive shot. And swept away nicely for 4 runs.
And I questioned it in terms of saving Bramble for this phase of the innings, but this is why. They believe in the power that they possess with Drummond, with Gajanan Singh, and of course Andre Fletcher at the top. They feel like they have enough. And if they can get a good start like they've done today.
Yeah, good looking shot from Anthony Bramble.
Sorry, then you can have someone like Anthony Bramble come in and finish the innings off. 5 overs remain after this, and a perfect platform.
So 156 on the board, 35 balls still to be bowled. Oh, pulled away. Poor delivery here from the leg spinner, and that has gone away for 4.
Hasn't been a bad spell, but really too easy for Anthony Bramble. He's now well set and just too short. Not going to get much out of a delivery like that. He's got to adjust his length. I think when he was a lot fuller in this spell, definitely caused the Raiders batters to be a bit more tentative on that front foot. So even if you overpitch like that and bowl a full toss, you don't mind it, as opposed to bowling a shorter ball that will run with the wind and down the slope. So don't mind that if I am the captain of the Scorpions. You want to encourage him to aim for those fuller deliveries.
So Bajaj, the captain, comes back into strike. 33 balls still to be bowled. They're going at 11, slightly over 11 runs and over. Out in the middle, of course, is Anthony Bramble. He can score quickly. We've seen that in the several weeks of minor league cricket playing for the Stallions. And Gaurav Bajaj, more of a touch player. Batting to come, John Ross, Jagisar, Roman Reyes, Lada, Shahid Ahmadzai.
Yeah, really a plethora of options to come, so you can afford to be aggressive. I think Bramble, though, I mean, yes, you want to look for boundaries. You've already got 10 from this over. He, for me, is very crucial. He's got to bat till that 20th over. If he does that, they'll certainly exceed 200. Much better length from the left-arm spinner. And he's gotten it right since being struck for that initial boundary.
So 11 off this over so far. Couple of 4s at the top of the order, but he has really come back well. Has just allowed the batsman to really tap the ball into some open spaces and running for singles. Final ball coming up. Oh, an attempted sweep that doesn't go too well. That will complete over number 15. So 15 gone. It's 163 for 4. So we come down to the last 30 balls here, Brian. And welcome back, Anthony Bramble out in the middle.
Well, this is the type or the part of the innings that we usually refer to as happy hour. 6 wickets in hand, only 30 balls to go. They're scoring at the rate of 10.8. So that would put them at 216 if they maintain the same rate.
So Russian Primus comes back into the attack. And ball eased into the onside from Anthony Bramble. He continues to push the scoring along here, Brian. As we come down to the last 29 balls, it's 165 for 4.
So Bramble already at 14, but hasn't really shifted into top gear yet. You suspect with the last 29 balls to go that at some point he'll start cutting loose.
Again, eased into the onsides as Russian Primus comes back into the attack. And Primus so far, quality stuff from him. 2 overs, none for 16. And we have seen so many 200 score in this series. You may want to think teams that play here, if they're not touching 200 or close to 200, they might be thinking that they're underperforming, Brian.
Well, you know, we've said it a few times. Conditions are so favorable for batting here. Both of us are having to look over our shoulders because there's balls flying all around the place with 4s and 6s. Oh, that was...
So Bajaj just stroking this one up into the offside, hanging in the air for some time. But it falls harmlessly in front of, it appears to be Nitish Kumar. And they go through for an easy single.
In the air for a while, just to the left of Nitish Kumar's cover. Just a half a chance there maybe. But Gaurav Bajaj placing it well enough that it was out of the range of Kumar.
Oh, big appeal. Umpire Rogers says not out. We'll take a look at that one, Brian.
See umpire Rogers and umpire Kane signaling to each other that there's 2 balls remaining. Love seeing the communication between the umpires. And here's the replay. Height, I think, is what did it. That would have bounced over the top of leg stump.
So Bramble eased this one into the onside, and Brian, what this tournament has really showed up, or many other franchise domestic tournaments that we have seen, seem to be having a little regional cricket clash at these tournaments. You look at Russian Primus, still plays on the regional scene in the Caribbean.
Absolutely.
He bowls to Anthony Bramble. It's like Guyana versus Barbados.
Guyana against Barbados, absolutely. Well, you like seeing these matchups, though. These players, of course, play against each other in the Caribbean.
Oh, what a shot here from Gaurav Bajaj. Very funky looking shot. And that's 4 runs.
172 for 4. That shot was always on with the fine leg inside the circle. Prime was getting that one outside off stump, but Gaurav Bajaj walking across his stumps and just helping that ball. Once again, once it defeats fine leg, always going to run away for 4. 172 for 4.
So Delray Rollins comes back into the attack. Trio was nominated none for 27. And will come into bowl to Anthony Bramble. 24 balls remaining. When does he give it a strong goal, Brian?
Well, 24 balls remaining, 6 wickets in hand. You would think this would be the time, would you not?
Oh, he tries to do that. What a ball here from Delray Rollins.
That is well bowled. It's slow through the air. You see Bramble probably aiming to knock that one into the next field. Played the shot about a week too early and ended up flat on his backstop, let's say. It's a good delivery. Absolutely good delivery. So I'm aiming for that big shot. I tell you what, he's lucky that ball or his bat, which he lost control of, did not hit the stumps.
So
because that easily would have been hit wicket.
So the physio, she runs onto the field. And we'll have to wait and see who needs treatment now. Might have been Anthony Bramble. He has taken a painful blow.
Yeah, it'd be really good if we could get a replay of that from Roddy in the truck, because I want to see. Here's the replay again. Watch Bramble here. Huge swipe, but watch the bat. Loses control of the bat. That bat is, it could easily have trickled on to the stumps. He would have been out hit wicket. Oh, that would have been an embarrassing way to get out. Has a little bit of treatment here, but he would have been limping back to the pavilion because he completely lost control of his bat, and that bat could have ended up anywhere. So luckily for him, he gets to still stay there. Not exactly sure what the complaint was. Maybe sometimes you sort of lose balance and maybe you do a hamstring or something along those lines. So in fact, let's not even speculate. Not sure exactly what it was, but he seems to be fine. He's about to resume his innings. He is lucky that he's still there because that bat easily could have gone onto the stumps.
Yes, Brian, I've seen the physio. She's working on both sides.
Yes, she is.
We saw earlier on Leonardo Julian. Leonardo Julian was struck on the shoulder. She came out, and now we see Anthony Bramble from the opposite side. So I think we are all ready again for play. 23 balls still to be bowled. That's a dot ball. And Bramble off the back foot strokes it into the offside, looking for a couple of runs. The fielder comes in quite smartly, quite quickly, restricting the batsman to only a single.
In fact, Gaurav Bajaj was ready to attempt to make that into 2, but you would think probably with the slight injury that just occurred, Bramble turning down that second run. So at least Gaurav Bajaj on strike. The stiff wind picking up now, Lenny. And if Gaurav Bajaj hits this, it will be into the wind.
So good quality stuff here from Del Ray Rollins, man out of Bermuda. And also plies his trade on the English county scene, turns out for Sussex. He's a top quality all-rounder.
Oh, captain looking to go big, wanting to go over wide long on and only succeeding in missing. And that knocks back the off stump for the 5th wicket down. Boy, wanting to go big. I mentioned that he would have been hitting into the wind had he made contact with that, but it didn't even get that far. Here you see on the replay, look at him dance down the wicket and miss that one completely. A bit of turn on that one too, Lenny. Turned away from him, missing the outside edge and knocking back the off stump. So the 5th wicket down, the captain loses his wicket, 173 for 5.
So we've got 20 balls still to be bowled. Del Ray Rollins would have picked up his first wicket, the wicket of the captain Gaurav Bajaj. And now Shahid Ahmadzai comes to the middle with 20 balls remaining here, Brian. They were on course at one time to get up to a solid 200, maybe beyond 200 a bit. But with 20 balls remaining, they're still short of 27 to get up to that 200 mark. But the good news, they've got Anthony Bramble out in the middle. And he's a top-class striker of the cricket ball.
Plus, I know you've heard the phrase, beware the wounded batsman. Or these days, beware the wounded batter. So the fact that he, let's say because of the injury that he suffered a couple deliveries ago, that he would not have been able to sort of sprint through the runs as much as he could, that's the type of batter to look out for because he can hit big.
So Ahmadzai comes out, and this has been quality stuff here from Del Ray Rollins. Bermuda national player, plays for Sussex in the English county season. And I've seen him here on several tournaments in the last 2 or 3 years, Rollins. So we've got 19 balls remaining, just a single run in this over. This has been a quality one. Consider this is the 17th over.
17th over, 1 run conceded with only 1 ball to go. Tremendous bowling by Del Ray Rollins.
A big swing down the leg side here from Ahmadzai. Has he made connection? We'll have to wait and see. In fact, he has, and that has gone away for 4. So Shahid Ahmadzai gets off the mark with a boundary, a good-looking shot at this stage of the game.
Boy, commentator's curse working again. Sweeping it away, thick on the edge really, but fine leg inside the circle. Always going to run down the hill for 4. So that's 5 from the over, 177 for 5.
So Luke Proctor comes into bowl over number 18. 2 overs, no men, 1 for 25 for him. Would have picked up the wicket of Gajanan Singh, and he comes into bowl to Bramble. Bramble gets a full ball, plays it up towards long off, and they could come back for a couple of runs. So 2 more runs here for Bramble.
So you don't think that Bramble would ever be reckless, but I'm surprised to see that he's not being a little bit more aggressive. Only another 17 balls remaining.
And Brian, the good news about this over, he has time for it to be set up. It's just the first ball. He's picked up a couple of runs. Yeah, it has not gone for a dot ball. Look at that. Hammered into the onside over square leg. And that's a long hop. Too slow and too short.
Too slow, too short. Really a hit me ball. Goodness. Here on the replay, just jogging in, ambling in, and halfway down. Bramble hitting that well in front of square. And just racing away across this really quick outfield. Of course, it wouldn't have needed a quick outfield because it was essentially a hit me ball. So 4 more runs.
So 183 for 5. Bramble goes up to a quick 25. And essentially, Brian, what as we have seen so many times in T20 cricket, perhaps earlier on he could get away with a ball like that. But at a time in which a better ball, way better ball, looking to play through the onside is Bramble, a quicker ball.
I absolutely prefer that ball to the previous one. But you see here in the replay, look at this. Actually bent his back that time and getting it on that fourth stump line short of a length. Much better delivery.
Big from Anthony Bramble. And so big he's gone all the way. What a shot from Anthony Bramble. It's 189 on the card. And Bramble goes into the 30. He's up to 31. That's a massive looking shot from Anthony Bramble.
That was a ball of similar pace, but this one's a little fuller, and that's where he made his mistake. And then give Bramble credit too, because he advanced down the track about half a step to meet that ball on the half volley. Big 4 down the ground, or big 6 down the ground.
So Bramble has now crossed his highest individual score of the series. He's up to 32 here. Coming into this game, his highest would have been 25. And we made the point when Nikhil was here. He's a top order batsman, but during the course of this tournament for the Raiders Unlimited, he is slotted in at number 5.
You know, a good batter should be able to bat anywhere, but I am surprised that he did not bat higher. This type of approach where he's taking some time to get settled, that would, to me, indicate that it would be somebody who would be batting inside your top 3, top 4.
Well, at the top order, we've seen the likes of Andre Fletcher. Nothing wrong with him. Daniel Bell Drummond, he's good. Gajanan Singh, he's an international player. Wide is the call here from Rogers. So this over's gone for 14 from Luke Proctor. One of several Englishmen who's made it to the Atlanta Open this year.
Proctor not having the best of days with the ball. 1 for 38 so far from his 2.5, so his economy rate 13.4.
Oh, a slashing shot into the offside. Fielder posted a backward point. Delray Rollins, that will complete over number 18. So 18 gone. Still on tap for 200 here, definitely. It's 192 for 5. So 18 overs here, Brian. It's 195 for 5. They need 8 runs in 2 overs. Well, not a target, but we're trying to set some target to get up to this 200. We've seen so many 200s in this tournament as Roshan Primus, your boy, comes back into the attack.
When Roshan Primus listens back to this broadcast, he will hate you and Nikhil. He will love me. I guarantee it. But, you know, 200 would actually be a disappointment. They are on track right now for 213 given their current run rates. I'd have to think that they'd be looking for at least 15 or 16 runs the rest of the way.
So Primus ball eased into the offside. I think Ahmad Zai has done the smart thing to allow the man who looks to be the better striker of the ball, Anthony Bramble.
So we've just been reliably informed that there may be room in the budget for a speed gun the next tournament so we can end this argument once and for all.
So Anthony Bramble comes into strike. Primus has started pretty well. We got 11 balls remaining. We've seen a lot of 200s in this series. This one looks to be another one. We've seen about a dozen Brian Walters, and games are playing all over the complex. Anthony Bramble, this is good bowling here from Roshan Primus. Taking pace off the ball, allowing the batsman to perhaps reach for the ball. Might have been borderline.
Certainly would have been borderline umpire Brian Kane having a good think about it, but then deciding that it was going to be too wide. Here you see on the replay, Primus coming in, knocking that one in, maybe just over that wide line. Brian Kane deciding that not quite out of reach for Bramble.
Oh, similar ball, perhaps a little wider with a little bit more pace. Good bowling here from Russian Primus. 3 balls into the over, only a single run.
Goodness, what else can you ask for in the 19th over? Look at this again. Certainly more pace. Ooh, that one did seem to be a little bit wider, but still not wide enough for Brian Kane to raise those arms.
So contest developing here. Primus to Bramble. We've seen the plan. Short and played into the onside. And Ravinder Paul Singh, the Canadian international, comes up with a good catch. And that's the end of Anthony Bramble. It's 193 for 6. Not timed too well. And in the end, Russian Primus has come up with a very good wicket here.
Well, Lenny, I sure hate to disagree with you. I think he nailed that. Didn't just get it high enough. Look at this replay. Good short delivery. Bang, right. To me, that's off the middle of the bat. But it was just very flat. And just for a split second, it appeared that it might have gone over the head of the fielder. But he, maybe in 3 or so yards from the rope, stuck both arms up and was able to corral that ball. It was a good, sharp catch. Bramble, I think, hit that ball really well, but just ended up picking out the fielder in the deep. So the 6th wicket down, 103 for 6, or check that, 193 for 6.
So John Ross Jagisar comes to the middle. And Brian Walters, we've seen some excellent deep catches all day, especially in that vicinity. We saw a lovely catch during the course of this match from Luke Proctor.
Absolutely.
We saw Ravinder Paul Singh. This is his 2nd catch, but we saw one from a reverse sweep from Zabe. Went like a trace of bullet and he held on. So Primus will come into bowl to the new batter, John Ross Jagisar, the off spinner. And he's driving and driving well. Has he beaten the man? He has. Long chase here for runs for beaten. He will not get there. And that's a classy looking shot from John Ross Jagisar as he comes out at number 8.
Just stroking that one on the up through the covers. Not quite there for driving length, but he played it well and getting it just in that gap between mid-off and extra cover. Beaton not going to be able to catch up to that one. Racing across the ground. This lightning quick outfield, as we always said. 197 for 6 is now the score. So within 3 of that 200 mark that we talk about, with still 7 balls to go.
So 197, 3 runs away. John Ross Jagisar. Oh, he takes on Russian Primus. And that will complete the 19th over. Shouts of no ball from the umpire, wide from the umpire. But Brian Kane says that's a legal delivery. 19 gone. It's 197 for 6. So final over coming up here, Brian. Runsford Beaton has been given the ball. And from what I've seen in T20 cricket, it's becoming hard to trust the fast bowler for the last over.
Boy, it takes a really brave captain to give the ball to a spinner in the last over. But I think I agree with you. Fast bowlers generally recently have gone for runs when they've bowled that last over. But Joe, it really would have to be a spinner who you have complete trust in to bowl that last over. But here's Beaton.
Oh, John Ross, in fact, Ahmad Zai He gets a single and now gives John Ross Jagisar. We saw a lovely straight drive or cover drive in the last over. Look as if John Ross Jagisar was a top order batter.
Well, 198 for 6, so another 2 balls remaining. Check that, another 5 balls remaining here in the innings. John Ross Jagisar just getting started. His only scoring stroke so far has been that 4 that you just mentioned. But he has a full license here, I would think.
So into the offside. Ravinder Paul Singh, he's really been good. They come back for a couple of runs, and that could bring up the 200. Yep, 200 on the cards here for the Raiders Unlimited. Haven't been sent in. And with that couple of runs off the bat of John Ross Jagisar, they crossed the 200 mark. Another 200 in this series.
More a psychological victory than anything else. And it just sort of lets the batting side or the side that is in the field know that when they come into bat, they are going to have to overhaul that total. But 4 more balls to add to that total here coming up. Just missing his run up is Ransford beaten. Umpires again, love seeing them communicate with each other, immediately signaling to each other. 4 more balls remaining. Bramble, of course, tried for a while and didn't get away as much as he would have wanted to. This is another ball outside off stump, a dot ball, a precious commodity at this stage of the innings.
So 200 on the card. The Scorpions have not won a game. Well put together squad. When you look at the teams on paper, it really looked a very, very promising squad. They have not put points on the table at all yet. And this one they've conceded 200 runs. Still 3 balls to be bowled. Here is beaten. And Jagisar into the offside. Easy catch. Roshan Primus. It doesn't get easier than that. And so John Ross Jagisar falls.
Lenny, you and I stopped playing cricket a long time ago, but I dare say if either one of us was at mid-off, we would have taken that catch. Just spooned easily in the air. Not a lot of power behind that stroke. Just really just sort of helping it right to mid-off. Straightforward catch. Roshan Primus taking it easily. So just 2 balls remaining here in the innings. 7 wickets down. Coming into bat now is Roman Reyes.
Yeah, Roman Reyes comes in here with 2 balls. And Brian, what has taken effect as of October the 1st? Now batters not allowed to cross during the course of catching dismissal. So no, the new batter that comes in, will have to face straight away.
So we've been talking about that change in the rules for probably 6 months now. I failed to realize that it is now effective.
It's now effective, so they say it's a reward for the bowler. Give him something now. He's bowling to a new batter. Reward him for the wicket that he has just taken. Allow him to bowl to the new batter, which is kind of fair.
Sure, I completely agree with that.
In formats of game that perhaps many think that has been skewed against bowling. So a couple of runs here off the batter, Roman Reyes, and he gets going with a couple of runs and 1 ball remaining.
So 202 for 7. You're already starting to think about where you need to be. We have to be on our toes here in the commentary box area. In fact, if there's any room left in the budget after the speed gun, I think helmets for the commentators is the next priority.
So here's the final ball. 202 on the board. Will they scamper for any run? In fact, it's a dot ball off the shoulder of Ransford beaten. And so, Brian, they end at 202 at the end of their 20 over.
Have to say they decelerated towards the end of this innings. The last 2 overs yielding 10 runs. The last 3 overs yielding 25 runs. Here you see the scorecard. Dominated, of course, by Daniel Bell Drummond, 73 from 42. Gajanan Singh, Anthony Bramble both chipping in, and Andre Fletcher at the top also all got some runs. But I think Daniel Bell Drummond is essentially the difference between a mid-level type score and a score that the Scorpions will have to stretch their muscles to try to overcome. The bowling card,
Yeah, the bowling card with a couple of wickets for Rashawn Primus, a couple of wickets for Sam. Other than that, we've seen a lot of 1 wicket. And when you look at the economy rates, Rashawn Primus 7.5 runs and over. The others have gone for beyond 10, except for Delray Rollins. He's been brilliant at the top of the order, 1 for 32 off 4. So we'll take a short break. 203 will be the target. And who will win this one? A win for the Raiders will allow them to get in line with 2 other teams, and a win here for the Florida Scorpions will make them the first win of the series for them. So don't go away. 203 is the target, and we will be right back when cricket resumes here at the Atlanta playing field. So welcome back to the reply. Florida Scorpions, they need 203 from 120 balls, going at 10, just over 10 runs and over. Roman Reyes, it appears, will be the man to start. And will come into bowl to the two openers out in the middle, number 7, and kind of pick that up in a second, number 6.
Looks like Leonardo Julian and Aaron Banke. Lenny, it's going to be a really interesting chase. These days, 202 qualifies as a middling type of total.
So over 10 runs is the ask. And Brian, what we have seen during the course of this tournament, while Florida Scorpions have not won a game, the fact is they have always featured in scoring over 200 in their losing cause. So this team has had the habitual practice of always getting to 200. They need 203 now. And so it's up to the likes of Leonardo Julian and Aaron Banke to give them a good start.
Wow. Well, you know, you could argue that the Raiders, they're certainly not going to be going through the motions. They're still going to be looking to make a good account for themselves. Interesting that the man at slip, Andre Fletcher, can also keep. So it's almost like having two keepers behind the stumps at one time.
And the fact is, Brian, they have gone with Anthony Bramble, a specialist keeper in his trade, and a man who keeps for the Guyana national team at present. And so we're all ready for the reply. 203 is the target from 120 balls, asking 10 and over. And Roman Reyes, he has played at the international level. Ball eased into the offside, and things are on the way here. Leonardo Julian, he's off the mark and running. It's 1 on the board.
Lenny, I have a problem. I like ice cream. Favorite flavor of ice cream is rum and raisin. I cannot hear Roman Reyes without thinking of rum and raisin ice cream. So that's going to be distracting me through the entirety of this match. But left arm fastball, I love seeing a left arm fastball in motion, or in action rather. Bowling over the wicket. And he has 2 lefties. So it's an all left arm affair.
So Banke comes into strike. Oh, he gets a quality delivery. That's a brilliant ball. That's a peach of a delivery. And it goes through to Anthony Bramble. We'll have to see that one again.
Absolutely great delivery. Left-handers are standing up and applauding here. Good delivery. Just drifting, just a little bit of an outswing. Just a touch of outswing, sailing past that outside edge into the gloves of Bramble. So if he does that, 6 out of 6, he'll be happy with the results.
If he does that again, you'll probably want to put in another slip.
Yes.
So Banke plays and misses, and wide is the call from umpire Rogers. So let's put this thing together, Brian. They're chasing 201. Well, they need 201 more. This team has, over the last couple of games in which they have lost, have scored 200 runs. So not by any means a pushover team. This is cricket. This is competitive cricket, and they're here to play.
I'll tell you what. They need to go at the rate of 10.2 and over from here. But that is, as you mentioned, in this format of cricket, 10.2 runs is almost nothing these days.
So ball again pushed into the offside. Runs coming by single. This has been a tidy start from Roman Reyes. We've only seen 3 runs in this over so far. We've seen 1 wide and a couple of soft shots into the offside. But so far, this man has held up Roman Reyes.
Well, an even 200 to go from 117 balls. So it's not going to be easy, but I'll tell you what. The idea is to keep wickets in hand and then accelerate toward the end. These two, Julian and Banke, I think will be looking to get things started and wanting to take advantage of the power play. This next ball sailing past the attempted drive.
Yeah, coming down the track is Leonardo Julian. Doesn't go too well, and the ball goes to Anthony Bramble. So still a very good start here from a man who has played at the international level, Roman Reyes. and now plies his trade in the US. I've seen him at many tournaments around this country. And he comes in here to represent the Raiders Unlimited. Oh, cut away. That's a good looking shot from the left-hander. Will only get a single, as a couple of fielders outside of the 30 yards at this juncture of the game posted a third.
Well, you have a man at third and other fielder in the deep. You mentioned only two allowed outside the circle. The other man in the deep is at deep square leg. So pretty standard for a bowler of the caliber of Roman Reyes. It's now up to Aaron Banquet to figure out how he's going to manufacture some runs. Just 4 runs already from the over.
By a ball driven straight back to Roman Reyes, who does well to keep the ball in play, a dot ball. And so a tidy start, 1 over gone, 4 for no loss. So John Ross Jagisar has been given the ball. A man who bowls the new ball pretty well. And Brian, as we have seen in modern day cricket, especially T20 cricket, as a bowler, you've got to be able to use any ball thrown at you at times, and even the spinners getting a chance so many times to bowl the new ball.
So Lenny, in our time, it would be unheard of to see spinners bowling anywhere near in the first 10 to 15 overs or so. But it's very much a feature of modern cricket that the spinners will get the new ball, and you have to be very accurate though.
So big shot attempted, big appeal. I think he's all caught behind. So Bramble takes a good catch on the rebound, and he held on to it. He's a top-class keeper. And what a start here from John Ross Jagisar. A perfect start. He's picked up the wicket of Leonardo Julian. And so 1 wicket down, 4 runs on the ball. We'll take a look at this replay.
Look at this, drifting in from around the wicket. The wind would have helped the drift a little bit, and he backing away and looking for that big drive, thick edge, and look at the concentration of Bramble, completely staying with it and controlling that ball just inches before it hits the turf. Well, you have to ask the question, was it necessary to have played that type of shot from the very first ball of the second over? Well, he'll have moments to think about that one if you're Aaron Banke, actually if you're Leonardo Julian, because he's walking back to the pavilion, 4 for 1.
And Brian, you look at the matchup, an off spinner bowling to a left-hander. We talk so much, or there's so much talk about the matchups. He's getting the ball to turn away from the left-hander, and so one of those deliveries not only flighted well, but was able to probably beat the left-hander trying to lunge forward. Nitish Kumar comes to the middle, a man that you would have seen quite a bit in the Texas area.
Nitish Kumar, just a brilliant top-order batter. Not necessarily a big hitter of the ball, but somebody who can accumulate runs relatively quickly. Maybe you expect a strike rate of around 120, 130, and he's the type of batter who can sort of establish a pace, and then the other big hitters can come bat around him.
Yeah, Nitish Kumar comes out of Canada. Would have represented Canada for many years, and he comes in here as the captain of this Florida Scorpions team. He's a quality player. And you're right in that. He's more of a touch player, a stroke player, like to accumulate his runs and build them up. Good start from John Ross Jagisar. We'll wait and see. Could be leg by or maybe wide. Umpire Brian Kane walks to the square, waits. Wide is the call.
So Brian Kane is so dramatic sometimes. You see the long delay and everybody is bated breath waiting to see what he's going to signal. He does signal that wide. So 2 more runs. Jagisar, I'll tell you what, He's done well. And the reason why he was brought into the attack immediately was for the two lefties who were opening. In the very first delivery that he bowled, he broke that partnership.
So trying to go through the onside. Aaron Banke doesn't make enough contact. And so still a tidy start from John Ross Jagisar. Man comes out of Trinidad and Tobago. Has played his trade, has been part of this CPL not too long ago. He's a top quality spinner. And Banke is cutting. That's a lovely shot through the offside. He finds the gap. And a big race here for Roman Reyes. He will not win that. And that's a good looking shot from Aaron Banke. Give him some bit of width. He got off the back foot and really punched it hard.
Absolutely. So from around the wicket, slanting in again. The problem here, just a little too short. So giving Banke the room that he needs to open up and cut through the offside. That ball running down the hill through backward point for 4.
So a lovely fight back here from Aaron Banke in an over in which we have seen some very good bowling here from John Ross Jagisar. And a better ball, that's the that's the ball that comes back into the left-hander, Brian.
Absolutely, and pushed through a lot more quickly. So not allowing the room this time, and he definitively did not touch this one up. So a little bit more difficult to get under that ball for Aaron Banke.
So they're up to 10 for 1, make that 11 for 1. Running well here between Nitish Kumar and Aaron Banke. It's 11 for 1, and Brian, I made mention that this team have, in all their games, posted 200 runs.
Well, look, there's no question that they're a good batting side. And you'd expect that they have the temperament to be able to sort of judge the runs that they need, judge the rate at which they need to go to chase down this total. Oh.
So playing a miss, and that's the completion of over number 2. And after 2, it's 11 for 1. They've lost the wicket of Leonardo Julian caught of the bowling of John Ross Jagisar. It's 11 for 1. So 11 for 1. Roman Reyes will come into bowl to Banke. Banke chops this one into the ground. It goes to Andre Fletcher, who's at first slip today.
Keeping a little low that time. It almost appeared that he could have dragged that back onto his stumps. But they did well in the end. Maybe I think trying to run it down to third man, but not quite getting it in that way. But successful in not allowing that ball to trickle back onto the stumps. The Spice Man with the big quick feeling there at first slip.
So the game would have started with Scorpions cut away in the vicinity of Andre Fletcher. He does well to keep the run to only 1.
Certainly did. That's a good reactionary type of fielding too. Just getting that left hand down in time. Ultimately, it probably would not have made a big difference on the scoreboard because that would have only run down to third man, so they would have only gotten 1 anyway. But as a fielder, you want to know that if the ball isn't within reach or within range of you, that you swallow those opportunities up. So good feeling by the young, well, we can't call him young anymore, can we? Andre Fletcher, but still did well to keep that ball from running down to third man.
So 12 for 1, some tidy stuff so far. Nitish Kumar comes into strike. Roman Reyes continues to bowl well. We've seen him bowl off a bit of a longer run, but today he's opted to come off maybe a shortened run, but that has not taken the effect away that he still bowls tidy.
Definitely a tighter ball. It has to be said, that was a bit of a giveaway that last time. Ball fielded by Reyes, which was a good reactionary type of work on his part, but then flipping it unnecessarily towards the stump and conceding a run.
So ball driven up towards the offside. They scamper through for a single. The running has been good so far from Banke and Nitish Kumar. But they need a lot more than some very easy and very defensive taps into the offside, Brian. Here and there, they'll have to get some ball across the rope or maybe over the rope.
Well, I don't know that you'd expect this from these two, but what you do expect is for them to not be still. You expect for the scoreboard to be ticking over. Oh, thick outside edge running down here to third man. So accumulation of runs is what they've been doing so far. They're doing it at the rate of 5.29, but bearing in mind that they need to be going at the rate of, as of this point, 10.95. So you're needing 11 runs and over. With 9 wickets in hand, still another 188 runs to get. So at some point, you're going to have to start thinking about how will you accelerate, how will you shift through the gears to get a serious effort going towards achieving this target.
So again, ball running in the vicinity of Andre Fletcher. That will complete over number 3. And after 3 is 15 for 1. So John Ross Jagisar will continue. Will come into Bolton Nitish Kumar. Kumar gets a good delivery, steers it up towards the backward point area, running up towards the boundary. And that one was gone away for 4. Very fast outfield, definitely touched. That's a shot of class.
Boy.
We know he's the type of batsman.
Yes, look at this. Just opening the face, just a touch, and getting it fine of the fielder at short third, running away down the hill. Maybe the wind picking up right now had a little bit to do with that, but that easily runs down the hill for 4. So that's a good start to the over by Nitish Kumar.
Yeah, very good start. He's that kind of player. Will probably squeeze the ball into gaps. Oh, lofted. That's not his shot. And this one in the air. Oh, finally goes over the man at cow corner, Sarabjit Singh Lada. And that has gone for a maximum.
Wow. Planting the front foot, lofting it down the ground. We mentioned that he accumulates runs. Well, that's 6 of them that he accumulated. And off the bat, and he's hitting into the wind. I thought for a second that that would have held up for a catch, but certainly not.
Yeah, unlike Nitish Kumar, but he survives and gets the ball over the fielder's head. John Ross has gone for 10 in this over so far. It's 25 for 1. They've lost the wicket of Leonardo Julian. The ball worked into the onside. Good looking shot again from Nitish Kumar. They still need to go at almost 11 runs on over, Brian. We made mention that they have been 13 times during the course of this series. Runs have been scored over 200. One time over 300. We saw the famous 326.
Oh.
Rakeem Cornwall alone got a double 100. And we saw also one time, in addition to 13 200 runs scored by teams, there was one team that scored 199. So the runs have really come in this series.
Well, I have to keep talking about that Rakeem Cornwall innings. He literally scored a double century in 4s and 6s alone. I don't know that I've ever seen that happen.
So the quality bowling of John Ross Jagisar continues here for the Raiders Unlimited.
One more ball remaining here by John Ross Jagisar's second over so far. 1.5 and has taken the sole wicket to fall. 18 runs conceded.
So the Scorpions, they'll need a They'll need a big knock here from some of their batters. Nitish Kumar and Aaron Banke, the two batters out in the middle, they have lost. Leonardo Julian. And ball again into the onside, running quickly. Yeah, would have been a very tight single, but in the end, a run here for the Scorpions. They go up to 28 for 1, 4 gone.
He's working it off his hips and stop. That could have been disastrous. As he started going for Nitish Kumar, but in the end, making it by the skin of his teeth, as they say. 28 for 1.
So Mohammad Asif comes into the attack. Former Pakistani international. We've seen a few Pakistani international here. We've seen Asad Ali. We've seen Mohammad Irfan. We've seen Roman Reyes, and now Mohammad Asif. And he comes in here. Will come into bowl to the Canadian international Nitish Kumar. And I think I read somewhere Nitish Kumar trying to perhaps qualify to play for the US at some point. So we apologize for a bit of hold up, but I think one of the sprinkler has been activated.
Wow.
So we just want to make sure safety first, and just want to make sure that everything is kept under the lid. So the sprinkler has been activated somewhere, and so just a little bit of hold up here at 28 for 1. Nitish Kumar on 14, and of course Aaron Banke on 9. They have lost the wicket of Julian. Caught Anthony Bramble off the bowling of John Ross Jagisar. The very first ball he started in his bowling spell. They need 175 from 96 balls, chasing a 203. And we made mention this is the 13th time scores have gone over 200. So we're ready for a restart, 28 for 1. When we left you, Mohammad Asif, the former Pakistani international, was getting ready to bowl to Nitish Kumar. So Brian, welcome back. Still, they're going at 7 runs and over. They need 11 runs and over from here on. So still a long way to go here for the Scorpions.
Absolutely a long way to go. Now, Mohammad Asif, of course, he and Mohammad Amir came along at the same time. Mohammad Amir these days, I think a tremendous bowler, not playing for Pakistan right now, but was featured heavily in the Jamaica Talawas in the CPL. This now Mohammad Asif. Oh, look at this. Oh, delicious. Just playing right through the line. What an absolutely elegant stroke by Nitish Kumar.
And the fact is, he is not allowed Mohammad Asif to settle at all. And a lovely shot straight down the ground off the bat of Nitish Kumar. This is his area. Look at that. Just lofted. He got to the pitch of the ball and played right into the V. That has gone upstairs.
Tell you what, initially it was signaled by umpire Conrad Rogers as a 4. The fielder confirming that it did in fact go for 6. So great start to the over by Nitish Kumar.
So better ball here from Mohammad Asif. But getting a single is Nitish Kumar and brings back Aaron Banke back on strike. They need 168 from 94 balls. And the big question everyone is asking, if you follow this tournament from the day when the roster came out, Brian, the big question is, how does Florida Scorpion with this lineup unable to win a match in this series so far? There's $1 million question.
Well, you've heard cricket referred to as the game of glorious uncertainties. And that is one of the uncertainties that's on the table, because the team this talented, you could make the argument that they would have been one of the teams to watch out for in the entire tournament.
The fact is, when you look at the team playing here today, they still got O'Shane
Thomas
on the bench. Yep. And they've got the Scottish international Kyle Kotzer. So a big appeal. Our director getting into our ears there, Brian. Our director, Roddy Lalman, who has worked on so many projects. I've worked on so many projects with Roddy, to be honest.
Boy, I'll tell you what, this is the delivery that was, there certainly was appeal for caught behind. Mohammad Asif didn't even turn around to appeal. He was running down the wicket celebrating. But umpire Conrad Rogers holding firm, thinking that that ball might have come off of the thigh pad of the batter. Instead of being given as a wicket, it's just a simple dot ball.
Oh, a slashing shot over the offside. That's a lovely shot from Aaron Banky. Take that. 4 runs off the bat of Aaron Banky. It's 39 for 1. It's a good-looking shot off the bowling of Mohammed Asif.
Boy, the absolute arrogance in the shot. Look at this. And not moving a muscle after you played the shot because he knew it was not, he did not have to run anywhere, blasting it over the top for 4. What an excellent shot. Now, what type of comeback does Mohammed Asif have?
So 11 runs in this over. That's the kind of score they'll need per over. Aaron Banky and both Nitish Kumar look like they're players that will probably stroke it around, and then as they grow in confidence and maybe the length of their innings will probably pick it up at some point. So wonder what's the hold up now. We've seen one for the sprinkler.
Well, it appears that umpire Conrad Rogers is inspecting the ball, maybe. Maybe just getting, at this stage of the innings, usually you'd see maybe the seam starting to rise up just a little bit.
And Brian, the other change to the ICC playing conditions now, you cannot put saliva on the ball. As we were talking, cut away. That's a good looking shot from the diminutive left-hander. We'll only get 1, so 5 gone. It's 40 for 1.
40 for 1 and a short break, and we'll have a double commentary change with Nikhil Uttam Chandani and introducing for the first time Christian Noré.
End of 5 overs, a good start for the Scorpions, but they need to pick up the rate if they want to get close to this 200 total. Got Christian alongside me. Christian, 40 for 1. What do you make of things so far?
Thanks for having me. Things are looking really good this far. We see a bowling change. The new bowler looks like Daniel. Yeah. Things are looking really good this far. We see Bankay's finally coming into his own, hitting a good expansive cover drive. The last over, roughing off Mohammed Asif a bit there. So here we see as he tried to dab this one down to the short third man and running home for an easy single in the end. Total moves up by 1.
Yeah, it would be key for Nitish Kumar, who's got a start. Another start, 21 from just 10. He's gotten some runs in this tournament. It was a rough minor league season for the Lone Star Athletics, and yesterday for the Scorpions got a respectable total when they scored 200, got 70 from just 31. So if he plays an innings similar, they would have a good chance of chasing down this 200 plus total. Still 1 over remaining in this power play. Got to make full use of it. Not going to be easy though. Drummond is a man who's bowled well.
Yeah, so as we see Belgium, he runs in, right to move the wicket. Oh, bit of a hold up here. I'm not sure for what reason.
They're just missing his run up there. We have seen bowlers struggle with the synthetic matting at times. Just adjusting. Belgium is a man that would have played a lot of cricket in the UK and on those turf surfaces. Goes pace off this time. And just over that man at mid-off, up inside the circle, just 2 allowed outside. Good awareness being shown though from Nitish Kumar in his stronger areas down the ground.
Yeah, Nitish Kumar getting all of this one, just evading the guy at the mid-on. As we see on the screen now, just evading him and running into the boundary, trickling into the boundary, 4 runs.
Yeah, it will be important how Nitish Kumar plays this situation. He knows how important he is. And this will be more runs, 4 of them as well. So back-to-back boundaries coming for the Scorpions, and all of a sudden much more like it in terms of where they need to be in that 10.7 asking rate.
Yeah, the Florida Scorpions are really starting to get a move on here now. Right, the guy in Nitish Kumar playing on a really good looking shot off his pads, working Drummond off his legs for glorious runs.
It's interesting to see. First, he was very full outside that off stump. Then went tried to find the stumps, and This time it goes straight up. There is a man inside the circle. He comes under it and takes a really good catch running back. And all of a sudden, the danger man Kumar, after 2 boundaries, has been dismissed. Good comeback though from Bell Drummond and the Raiders Unlimited side.
Yeah, Bell Drummond getting the last laugh on this occasion after being struck for some 2 boundaries. Just pulling back his length a bit, and Kumar was through the shot. This ball just peeling out the upper half of the bat, and he has to go. Fall of wicket number 2.
Yeah, good short delivery from Daniel Bell Drummond. The first 2 of the over were full, and he was hit to the boundary. Now going much shorter, getting a wicket, getting success. So the fall of the third for the second for the Florida Scorpions, and really has been that type of tournament for them. Nothing really going their way. Haven't really got a momentum. And it's a short tournament. In these tournaments where you only have 3 group stage matches, you can't afford to lose games early. You will pay the price, and it will cost you qualification, like it's done here, where they're officially out of this tournament, the Scorpions.
Yeah, so the Raiders Unlimited team, news coming to hand. If they get over the lines in this one, they will qualify.
Yeah, indeed, and will qualify because of the degree of loss that the Paramveers suffered earlier today to the Stallions. So their net run rate taking a big hit. Both of those teams on 4 points. The Raiders win today, and they also go to 4. So something to watch out for. It's the only group that we're not sure of, the 2 teams that will progress. The other group's pretty much settled at this stage. Left-handed Dowry Rollins comes to the middle now.
Let's see, we see Rollins just working this one off his hip and just dropping it into the onside and running on for an easy single in the end. So he's off and running. He opened his encounter. Dowry Rollins.
Yeah, the breeze already picking up here at the Atlanta Great Fields, something that the batters will have to bear in mind in terms of targeting specific areas and sides of this ground. Here's a powerful breeze blowing across this Atlanta Cricket Field. Field number 1, this venue where we've had all of our streamed matches, thanks to our friends at SC Tech and Productions.
Let's see, we see Bell Drummond digging this one into the pitch, and they're running on for an easy single, just making it in the nick of time. So the total moves up by 1 more to 51 into. That brings an end actually to the power play. So after a decent power play for the Florida Scorpions, some 50 runs accumulated in their power play, but some 2 scalps fell. What do you make of this run chase thus far?
We'll get back to that after this. Over 51 for 2. Back live at the Atlanta Cricket Fields, where it's been already the Raiders Unlimited side first posting 200 now. They've done well in the power play, even though they've conceded 51 runs. They've taken 2 important wickets, one of Nitish Kumar in that last over. A lot's going to come down to Delray Rollins, Kamal Levrock, and of course, out in the middle at the moment, Aaron Banke. So with the ball in hand, Mohamed Asif again will bowl his second, even after conceding the 12 runs. Interesting decision from the captain.
Yeah, so we see Mohamed Asif, he runs away, right over the wicket. Good slower delivery. It's even Banke for some pace there, and resulting in a dot ball. Scores remains as is.
Still a lot of batting to come. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Roshan Primus come in next at number 5, because of the fact that they need to score quickly. Even a Ravinder Paul Singh, one that can really go after the bowling and look to score quickly. Both have a reputation of really attacking, hitting those big sixes, and with the RC rate getting closer to 11s, you will need someone just to take on this game.
See, we see Asif once more. Good back of the line delivery. not getting enough on it to beat the guy at short third man. So a really decent start to this over thus far by Asif.
Yeah, in terms of looking at some of the other groups and the teams, the Group A, those two teams qualify in the Atlanta Lightning, who are currently playing their third match, and the Stallions. We know for sure that it will be those two teams. Then the Atlanta Fire and the Tigers also battling it out, but it will be those two as well. So most of the groups pretty much settled. It's just this one that we're not sure about. Expansive over mid-off, and they will get runs, the Florida Scorpions. And Banke has played well. They need some support at the other end. Now goes to a run about 20.
Yeah, so good looking straight drive from Banke there. Just getting this one over to my guy at short mid-off, sorry. Resulting in the 4-1. This one's crashed into the boundaries. So Banke looking really good thus far, just going at a run the ball. He needs to stay there, and he needs some good support from the other end. As been to Banke, this one is slashed up the guy at backward point. You see a bit of sloppy fielding out in the boundary, resulting in some 2 runs. So decent square cut from Banke, some 2 runs accumulated on that occasion. Total moves up to 57, over number 7 being bowled.
So far, much better over from Mohamed Asif. 6 runs conceded from the first 4 deliveries. Needs to close out well, just to ensure that pressure continues to build.
So we see another dot ball from Asif. Asif having a really good second over here. Remember, his first over went for some 12 runs, and this one just going for some 6 runs thus far. A really good return here from Asif.
Yeah, he's played the ball really late. Aaron Banke looked to play the ball as late as possible. Hasn't really got going though. He's used up 23 deliveries, striking at less than 100. So we'll need to get a move on at some stage if they want to look to chase down. It's 200 plus they're chasing, and that's much more like it. Mid on up in the circle. Think it's gone all the way. Not a big man, Aaron Banke, but showing that he has enough. Timed that one really well, and a great way to end the over. End of 7. Now 63 for 2. Not doing badly at this stage, the Florida Scorpions, because at a similar stage after 7 overs, the Raiders were 73 for 1, Scorpions 63 for 2. So not just 10 runs behind. You make that up in an over. You still have a lot of power to come. Roshan Primus, Ravinder Paul Singh, Kamal Levrock. It's going to be Jonas Jagasar, the off spinner, into the attack again. And probably with the left-handed Delray Rollins, captain, opting for this matchup. Andre Fletcher very animated in the middle, trying to get his field right. Good to see that caliber of player. International players here in Atlanta, battling it out in the middle at the moment.
Yeah, the man they call the Spice Man. Just completed the CPL. Him and the guy with ball in hand, Jonas Jagasar, applies his trade, with the St. Kitts Patriots. Jonas Jagasar, he claimed the first scalp in Leonardo Julian. So he starts with a good delivery, loud appeal, not outside the umpire. So Jonas Jagasar coming all the way from the Trinidad to play in this Atlanta Open. Really decent bowler is Jonas. As here we see a quicker delivery into the pads of Rollins. Rollins just turning this one into the onside and running home for an easy single in there, and the guy coming off the mid-wicket boundary doing the fielding. Total moves up by 1 more to 63. 63 for 2. Aaron Banke, he's now on strike. Banke having a decent run this far, some 28 runs accumulated from some 24 balls. A good looking delivery from Jonas Jagasar. Banky knowing none of it, just blocking it into the offside. Yeah, so remember they're chasing a target of some 203 runs, some 129 runs needed from some 12.3 overs, as this one is hit down to fine leg. Ball runs into the rope, 4 runs for Banky once more.
Aaron Banky now going through the gears first as maximum in that last over. And now going really well, just showing his innovation. He can take that one behind square. And just got under that. Didn't bounce too much, but he's a short man, Aaron Banky. And Jonas Jagasar has been expensive since he's come back into the attack.
Yes, so Jagasar going for some 8.4 thus far. Let's see his comeback delivery as he attempts to turn this one down to short fine leg. No connection being made on this occasion. Ball just crashes into the body of Aaron Banky. So decent comeback delivery from Jagasar.
Again, very stylish and in the gap. Excellent from Aaron Banky. He moves on to 36. He was just 20 from 20. But now his wrist to 36, and that half series has come down. Good batting from the Scorpion side.
Yeah, Banky on this occasion just using the pace of Jagasar. That one was really quick outside off stump. Banky just getting back and caught in a true backward point. 4 more to his tally and to the team's tally. Total moves up to 72.
Going to be seen back into the attack. Beldrummond just picked up a wicket. Change of ends for him. Now coming from that northern end. Had a good day with the bat in hand. Daniel Beldrummond, second consecutive 50 in 2 games. It's been a good contributor. Pretty stacked batting lineup when you look at Beldrummond, Fletcher, and Anthony Bramble as the 3 main contributors. They have a pretty all-round side. So be interesting to see if they do win this game and get to the quarterfinal, just how deep this team can go. They've got match winners, that's for certain. Have posted some substantial totals on the board as well.
Let's see, we see Belgium starts with a wayward delivery, wide signal down the leg side.
And also the Scorpions will know that the Raiders got 194 on the very first day of this Atlanta Open and actually lost that game against the Parham Veers. It was chased down in 19 overs. So the bowling has at times been erratic. They have been expensive as well. Fletcher himself bowled an over in that game. Went for 29 runs in that single over. But clearly the approach from Daniel Beldrummond looking to be at the body very straight to these 2 batters, not give them too much width outside that off stump.
Yeah, so Beldrummond just switching ends here. Claimed the wicket of he picks up a wicket in his first over, and now he switched ends. He's now operating from the southern end. As we see Beldrummond, he runs in right hand mover. It's a ball to Banky. This one.
No white signal. Interesting. It was down the leg side. May have brushed something on the way through.
Yeah, Nick, I was awaiting the signal from the umpire, and it seems to have not came. I thought it would have been a bit delayed, but it seems to have brushed. I guess is probably his padding on the way through. So the score remains as is.
I've been impressed though with the way that Banky's gone through the gears. Started very slowly, but he's showing that he can make up for it. Just need to keep this rate. The required run rate, that is controllable. They have enough power and wickets in hand to get 15s going into the last 5.
Yeah, but I think this run chase will all depends on Aaron Banky. You know, his wicket is very vital in this run chase for the Florida Scorpions. You know, his partner in Rollins just going on the run the ball as we see Banky playing this one down to the guy at deep third man, and scores moves up by 176 over number 9 being bowled.
Is your first time seeing the Atlanta Open, Christian?
Yes, it is actually. This is my first time coming up here, so
What do you make of the overall quality that we've had on display?
it looks really good this far. I've been here. I was here yesterday, and I'm here again today, and I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed.
Down the track this time, but not really able. Looking to go over that extra cover man. But Drummond putting a bit of extra pace on that one. Seeing him advance down the track. Got a battle happening and unfolding between the two. They know each other very well. End of the 9th over. 78 for 2. So 1 over remaining in this first 10. Looks like Gajanan Singh is going to come into the attack, and not really known for his bowling exploits, but he can be a part-time option that can pick up wickets. Just a stump-to-stump type bowler. No real spin on the ball, but able to get through a few quick overs and pile on some pressure.
Yeah, Gajanan Singh coming up from the Guyana. Really decent kind of campaign against Gajanan Singh. As here we see both some off spin and right some around the wicket. Starts off with a good delivery. This one just hit into the offside and running home for an easy single. A bit of misfield there. Singh is not happy with the fieldsman. That should have been one, resulting in some 2 runs. So Singh seems to be disgusted. I think it's Rollins dot delivery. So the run rate is climbing a bit here, Nick. They need about 11, a little over 11 runs if they want to accumulate a victory. As Gajanan Singh, a quicker delivery. That one just deceiving Rollins with a bit of pace there.
Good awareness being shown though by Rollins, like retained strike. Probably why Gajanan Singh was given the ball though as an off-spin option, trying to play the matchup. Andre Fletcher bowling to the left-hander.
As here we see this one is crashed through the extra cover region, and there's a fielder employed on that boundary though, so it would just be 1. So as the run rate continues to climb, Gajanan Singh, he'll be bowling to Aaron Banky. Banky sweeps this one down to the guy at the short fine leg. A bit of sloppy feeling, but not going into the boundary as a guy coming around from backward square, runs around and tidies up in the end. Total moves up by 2. It's 84 over number 10 being bowled. Just so 1 legal delivery remains here. So they will be needing at least 11 something in the 11 point something in the last 10. Nick, what do you make of this run chase thus far?
Yeah, pretty handy over so far from Gajanan Singh, and that's the thing, he can do a job. End of 10, the halfway stage, 85 for 2. Well, it's just mainly Aaron Banky. Nitish Kumar got to start with his 29, but not really able to kick on. 118 from the last 10. They can go well between overs 10 to 15. It's nowhere out of the question. Gonna have to bat well though, as Leonard Aichibar rejoins me.
Yes, Nikel. Ball not timed well here from Aaron Banke, but he's played a very good hand. Looks very diminutive. We saw in the last over a couple of straight drives that went lovely over the offside here. And along with Delray Rollins, Rollins will have to play a good hand. Delray Rollins has been around the world, so to speak. A man comes out of Bermuda and plies his trade in the English county seasons. From time to time, he comes out of the county of Sussex, and he's done pretty well over the years at the Bermuda international level.
Yeah, a couple of those players from Bermuda playing in the UK. Kamal Levrock, another one, no ball signaled. So it may have just been a front foot no ball. We'll have to reball that, and it'll be a free hit as well. So bonus coming for Delray Rollins, who struggled. This could be what he uses to sort of get some momentum in this innings.
So Bell Drummond, certainly as a signal from the umpire will have to be received before he's okay with that. And so free hit ball here, Delray Rollins on strike. And so they need almost 12 runs and over. They're going at just about 8.5 runs and over. So there's a bit of a gap there. And Delray Rollins will be the recipient of a free hit ball, the first one we have seen in this game. And we'll come into bowl to Delray Rollins. So might be a good chance for him to kickstart the process to get up to 12 runs and over. Here's the free hit ball. Oh, he smashes this one. Has he found the gap? Yes, he has. And so a bit of relief here for the Florida Scorpions. And that's a good looking shot from a free hit ball from Delray Rollins.
Yeah, good as well, and had the freedom. That could just be exactly what he needs. Two will know each other well. Bell Drummond of Kent and Delray Rollins, of Sussex, so they know they're familiar.
Yeah, we've seen other players from Worcestershire and Northamptonshire here also. Luke Proctor, who comes out from that area. Sam, the leg spinner we saw earlier on, he comes out of Yorkshire. So big English presence here at the Atlanta Open. So we're watching Bell Drummond runs into bowl to Rollins. Oh, that's an even bigger shot here from Delray Rollins. Timed it well. And struck it powerfully over the onside. That's gone for 6.
Getting a taste of his own medicine, Daniel Bell Drummond, because we saw innings similar. It just takes one delivery to get this man up and firing. And maybe they just may have awakened the beast. So, very gettable in my opinion. 106 from some 57 deliveries. Just around 2 runs a ball on this surface. And like we've seen at the Atlanta Open, that's gettable. We've seen plenty of 200 totals being chased down.
So ball that Rollins gets into a bit of tangle. And now the partnership between Banke and Rollins has gone up to 49. Very important one. So teams still looking for points in this last round of games before the knockout stage begins tomorrow. And we saw in Group D, UMMC would have gone up to 6 points coming into the second half of what's happening today. So definitely one of the team to watch in the knockout stage. Ball driven into the onside. Good looking shot here from Banke. He's played a very good hand. That brings up the 50 partnership between the pair out in the middle.
Yeah, don't forget, of course, you can keep track of the Atlanta Open Instagram and Facebook pages to find out that seeding. After we have the completion of today's matches, we'll be able to find out which teams have progressed and finished. Remember, 1 through 8 will match up across the 4 venues tomorrow morning.
So the 100 comes up. A little touch into the offside. So the 100 comes up in the 11th over. 100 for the loss of 2. And so they need 103 from 54 balls. 100 for 2 at the end of 11. So Gajanan Singh will continue. First over would have gone for 7. And you can't be surprised that Gajanan Singh has been given the ball. And he has 5 wickets, topping the table for the Raiders Unlimited. Oh, smashed straight down the ground. Fielder comes in. All he has to look up. And that ball sails over the rope. Big shot here from Delray Rollins.
Just for a minute, you thought may have held out to that long on position, but it just tells you how big that boundary is. Took a long time to get over it, but once he hit it, he's such a strong and powerful player, Delray Rollins. Carried all the way over the rope for 6.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised. I think Sarabjit Singh Lada, the fielder out there, I think he was signaling 4, but we saw that the ball went way over the ropes.
Yeah, definitely 6, no question about it. So it can't be 4. Otherwise, he would be disappointed he didn't catch it. Interesting that Gajanan Singh's been given another over. First one, just conceded some 5 runs. 6 runs, correction. So now we'll need to go back to what worked well. He was just very quick on that good length outside the off stump. Now it's changed it up and it's allowed Rollins to actually come down the track and hit him over long on. This is a key matchup though.
So big outside edge running up towards the deep third man area. And there is that Andre Fletcher out in the deep. And they get a single. Not in control is Rollins this time. He picks up a single. And this over's gone for 9 so far.
Just think he might be better served trying to hit that ball through the offside. He's trying to hit against the spin. Delray Rollins will go through that long on to mid-wicket region, but clearly the odds against him. He's hitting against the spin.
So the partnership has gone up to 60 between the pair out in the middle. Banky has played a very good hand. And Delray Rollins, perhaps between the two of them, a more popular player around the world. Still 94 to get from 49 balls. Can't score this time is Rollins, and that will complete over number 12. So 12 gone. It's 110 for 2.
Welcome back to the Atlanta Cricket Fields. 110 for 2, 93 after required from 8. And they will require someone, I think one of these two probably needs to be Delray Rollins. Even yes, Aaron Banky has scored 46 runs. The manner of which Rollins has scored these 28, if he continues to bat, you think more fear into the mind of Andre Fletcher and his Raiders side.
So John Ross Jagisar, we've seen a couple of spinners operating. Perhaps more senior of the two off spinner between him and Gajanan Singh. Although Gajanan Singh would have taken 5 wickets during the course of their campaign. John Ross Jagisar, a man who's plied his trade at the CPL level. Oh, he comes down the track and has Anthony Bramble ruined the chance of a stumping.
Yeah, definitely was a chance, but because of the pace that John Jagisar just fired that one in, it was always going to be tough for Bramble to connect and whip off the bails that quick of a time. So, important chance going to begging.
Yeah, it might have been a slight chance there off the glove of Anthony Bramble. Still looking for runs. I think he's gone. So the appeal comes up, he's gone. So trying to run the ball into the offside. A little bit of edge onto the ball. Quick alert play by Anthony Bramble. And Rollins has to go for 28. 111 for 3.
Well, not a wicket that you want to lose at this stage. Just given a life. It just seemed to be a seam-up delivery. And really unlucky for Delray Rollins wasn't already sure where the ball was, and that cost him in the end. Good awareness by Anthony Bramble this time to get the wicket.
So big partnership comes to an end. Rollins gone. 62-run partnership comes to an end. And Rollins goes, it's 111 for 3. So Kashif Ali comes to the middle. And they require 92 from 45 balls. Still asking over 12 runs and over. At the moment, they're going just about 9 runs and over. So you feel Raiders Unlimited in control somewhat of this game. And they've played well all series long. The Raiders, during their campaign, they lost to the Paramveers. They won against Stallions. And have really made runs in this tournament. 177, 193. And they're defending 202 posted. If you want to catch up on how 203 was made, we saw a fine knock from Daniel Bell Drummond, who got 73. And Anthony Bramble towards the end, he chipped in with 32. Agajan and Singh got 22. And Andre Fletcher, the West Indies player, he got 20. So Kashif Ali comes in here with 92 to win from 45 balls. John Ross Jagisar gets a good ball. Jagisar bowling at 2 for 30. So far, Nikhil, good bowling spell from him today.
Yeah, bowler got over, and will need to take wickets, continue to take wickets. Will be trying at least in this last over of his spell. Skillful player, just came out of that Patriots side, along with Andre Fletcher in the CPL.
I would have relished the opportunities to bowl the 2 left-handers out in the middle in Banky and Delray Rollins. Rollins has gone back into the shade. So single out towards the offside. That will complete 13. And after 13, it's 112 for 3. So Shahid Ahmadzai given the ball. Would have picked up a couple of wickets this season.
Yeah, plenty of spinners for Fletcher to go to. Kind of surprised, well actually no, because now you've got the wicket of Delray Rollins. You then go to the left arm spinner, so clearly trying to change things up and use his matchups well. 2 right-handers at the crease. You need to get this wicket though.
We haven't seen the introduction of Sarabjit Singh Lada, a player who's always taking a lot of wicket at the minor league level, comes out of the DC Hawks. In the last couple of years, one year got up to 30 plus wicket or thereabout, and then last season got up to 22 or 24 wickets, so he hasn't factored in so far.
Sorry, actually I said 2 left-handers, but of course Aaron Banke is still there, so 2 right-handers, but one being a left-right combination in Banke and Kashif. Surprised no rush on Primus as yet though. You need to win this game. Last game of the group stages, yes they're already out, but still, you want to leave the tournament with something. Primus scored a 50 for them already in this campaign.
Ball pulled and pulled well. That's a good looking shot. Finds the gap in the process and bounces away for 4. That's a good looking shot from Aaron Banke.
Well played from Banke, and keep mentioning it. Not a big man. Still able to use the dimensions of this field well. Big field, but he's finding the gaps.
Yeah, just coming back to batting to come. Of course, there's Russian Primus to come. Not forgetting Kemal Leverrock can strike the ball well.
That's the thing. They've got power hitters, but they've not opted to send them. This is going to be more runs.
So cut away towards the third man area. Good looking shot again from Aaron Banke. I'll give him the credit for that shot. And he picks up another boundary.
So back-to-back boundaries coming, and now Andre Fletcher and the Raiders will be under some pressure. I know that you've got a new batter to the crease. I just wondered, could he have probably given Gajanan Singh another over? Possibly, because he was economical. He picked up the wicket. He just gets through them so quickly.
So this over's gone for 9 so far from Ahmad Zai. It's 121 for 3, 82 to win from 38 balls. Still so much batting to come. So ball tugged into the onside. Good looking shot again from Aaron Banke. He goes up to 56.
One delivery remaining in this 14th over. Just got the confirmation from our tournament organizers. We have the top 4 teams in tomorrow's quarterfinal: the Atlanta Fire, the Lightning, the UMMC Knight Riders, and the Stallions. And then we'll see which 4 join them. It'll be 2 from this group. Won't be the Scorpions, but could easily be the Raiders.
So ball tapped into the onside again. That will complete over number 14. Still a lot of batting to come, but they're batting at 123 for 3. 80 to win from 36 balls.
Well, 14 overs done and dusted. 123 for 3, 18 runs required, and Aaron Banke's batted well, but he's going to need some help. And I think at this stage, you just lost the wicket in that last over. You need to go up 13, almost 13 and a half runs per over. I think you're missing the trick. Not sending a Primus, not sending a Kamal Leverrock.
Yeah, even Ravinder Paul Singh.
Yeah, all hitters of the ball.
Yeah, the man has a T20 for Canada.
And people at home watching may think, well, the Scorpions are eliminated. That's true, but there's importance in this game. The last place out of the 8 teams will be decided from the winner of this matchup. Very simple equation for the Raiders. If they win, they're in tomorrow's quarterfinal. If they lose, the Southeast Paramveers will be the team progressing.
So full toss, smashed straight down the ground, and that's a good looking shot again from Aaron Banke. And that has gone away for 4.
Yeah, playing a quality knock here, Aaron Banke, and just a nothing delivery, you have to say. Full toss. And the man has been there now for so long at the crease. Just flighted, over pitched. An easy strike in the end.
So save Zaib comes into the attack. More runs here for Banke. He's running well. His running has been pretty good. And now refused by Kashif Ali. So Ali remains on 4. It's 129 for 3. And so 74 to win from 33 balls. Still asking 13 plus and over.
Yeah, wanted to strike on that occasion. Banke, he's got to face the majority of deliveries now, being the set man.
Oh, looking to go through the onside. Chance of a run out. An easy one in the end. Banke will have to go. And so it's 129 for 4. What a mix-up here between Kashif Ali and Aaron Banke.
Yeah, just unnecessary. Very unnecessary. And it's the set man who's dismissed because Kashif come all the way to the other end. No real need for that. Banke, yes, may have been a victim of some ball watching, but you can't afford to lose a wicket at this stage when you need 13 and over required.
So Ravinder Paul Singh will walk to the middle. They still need 74 to win from 32 balls, asking almost 14 runs and over. It's 129 for 4. This over's gone for 6 so far. So Kashif Ali will still be on strike. Could have seen a terrible mix-up. Banke was batting pretty well. All he needed was maybe some big hit in support, Nikhil. But he's gone. And Ravinder Paul Singh comes to the middle, but Kashif Ali is still on strike. Ball stroked into the offside, and Ravinder Paul Singh, the Canadian international, comes into strike for the first time.
Yeah, experienced man Ravinder Paul Singh. Capable at this level. Did a lot of cricket for Canada as well. Batting in that middle order.
So 14 runs and over required. Ravinder Paul Singh.
Actually very good T20 international numbers in 22 internationals. An average of 30 and a strike rate of 137. It tells you about his power hitting ability. And he'll just get off strike to end the over. 131 for 4 after 15.
Down to the last 30 balls, 72 to win. Ravinder Paul Singh has just to hear a bit of Brian Walters. Welcome back. 30 balls remaining.
Lenny, good afternoon. 72 runs with 6 wickets in hand in the last 5 is not undoable. It's not impossible, but it's going to require somebody grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck. But that's difficult to do with 2 relatively new batters at the crease.
So Ahmad Zai, first of all, would have gone for 11 continues. Ball stroked into the offside. Oh, stroke through the offside. And that's a lovely looking shot from Ravinder Paul Singh. Didn't look much, but a very good sharp punch.
Look at this. This is really well timed. Just opening the face of the bat just a little bit to get it finer of that fielder in the covers and running away down the hill. That is a beautiful piece of batsmanship. In fact, in my scorecard, I had already put 1. Now I need to update it to 4. Great shot.
So swing and a miss. Good bowling here from Shahid Ahmad Zai. Just taking pace off an already slow ball and just messing with the timing of the batter. And Brian, I think when you look at the Scorpions, I think they have missed the trick. No Russian primers. We haven't seen Leverok. Leverok and both Russian primers and Leverok, they score very quickly when they bat. Ravinder Paul Singh times this one well and smashes this one out of the park. That's a big hit here from Ravinder Paul Singh. And this gets very interesting.
Well, I get a bit of reverse commentator's curse in that time, Lenny. Lofted down the ground. That's a pretty clean strike by Ravinder Paul Singh. Got absolutely all of that one. Something similar to what you'd expect Roshan Primus to do. Now this one clipped down to square leg. Do they run for 2? They do.
Yeah, good running. And you gotta love the approach here by Ravinder Paul Singh. The intent to get 14 and 15 runs and over, that is what is required. And you gotta love the approach here from Ravinder Paul Singh.
Well, 25 balls, 60 runs. So 14.4 and over needed from here. They already have 12 in this over with one ball to come. Make that 18. Wow. Look at that, Lenny. Lofted away over backward square for 6. Big over in the context of things. 18 runs coming from that over.
Yeah, this one a drag down from the leg spinner. And look at that. Swung and swung hard. That has gone far. It's 149 for 4. A massive shot of the bat of Ravinder Paul Singh. That has been a very good over for the Scorpions. 18 runs off that over.
149 for 4. Be right back.
So 149 for 4. They need 54 from 24 balls. Looks like Roman Reyes has been brought back into the attack, and why not? Starts with a slower delivery, gets a single and brings the big hitter, Ravinder Paul Singh. Can he turn this around? It's 150 on the board, so the 150 comes up here for the Scorpions. It comes in the 17th over, Brian.
53 more runs needed. Required rate now under 14. 6 wickets in hand, Lenny. This is absolutely doable. You mentioned Roshan Primus and Kamar Levrock still to come.
So into the offside. They're running quickly, coming back for 2. Good running. Toss should have done a little bit more with a full toss though, Brian.
I was about to say he missed out on a scoring opportunity there. Any amount of bat behind square, and that's 4 runs. So, boy,
So they need
Raman Reyes would be really thanking his lucky stars that did not go away for more runs than just a double.
So they need 51 in 22 balls. And this is what you fear with some of the teams that have no way of progressing in the tournament. But they could throw a wrench in the machinery at times. This one into the onside. Does he take one? Yes. He's putting some faith in Kashif Ali.
Oh, I don't know that you'd be thinking about farming the bowling anytime soon, Lenny. Every run counts from here on, and even 50 needed from the last 21 balls of this match.
So Roman Reyes has given away 4 runs so far. He's a top quality pacer, having played at the international level. And that's another quality delivery, not giving the batsman a chance to really get under the ball, and not giving them a chance for them to really get into that swing zone. Good bowling here.
That is the idea. That's what you want your bowlers to be doing at this stage, right in the block hole. Absolutely nothing else that could be done with that other than defend it into the offside for a quick single.
Oh, that's another good ball. Having the batsman to stretch. The ball is full, and this is tidy, clever bowling here from Roman Reyes.
Absolutely. If you were to criticize that, you would have thought maybe just a little too wide, because any amount of bat with third man inside the circle might have gone for 4, but not able to make contact with that top one was Ravinder Paul Singh.
So 49 runs remaining. Look at that. Another quality ball to end this over. Ravinder Paul Singh, luckily for the Scorpions, will be on strike when play resumes, in which they'll need 48 from the next 18 balls, asking 16 runs and over. So 17 overs gone. It's 155 for 4. They need 48 to win from 18 balls. Daniel Bell Drummond comes back into the attack. He has gone for almost 11 runs and over. Brian, 3 overs, no 1 for 32.
In fact, looks like 3 overs, 1 for 33, so he has gone for 11. So he's going to have to pull this back and get a more economical over than the first 3 that he bowled. 155 for 4. So just another 48 runs. You're looking for something along the range of 8, 9, 10 runs from this over if possible. I'll tell you what, that's a great start.
Yeah, good length delivery here from Bell Drummond. Pretty good start. Every dot ball here will be a very important event for this bowling team.
Obviously very experienced bowlers, so you can either look for the block hole deliveries like Roman Reyes was going, or you can mix up your length and your line as what I think he's going to be doing here, Daniel Bell Drummond.
Couple of good balls, taking pace off the ball. You mess with the timing of the batsman. And those big swing, you need some bit of pace, and with pace sometimes comes the bunks. None of them on that delivery. Pace off the ball, the bunks is low, it dips on you. And a big swing and a miss from Ravinder Paul Singh, 155 still for 4.
I'll tell you
good
what.
Ball here from Bell Drummond, not allowing the batter, really mixing things up here in this over.
Yes, had he allowed that to go by not without making any contact, that may well have been adjudged a wide. I think that might have been bouncing over the top of the batter's head, but he played it, which of course negates that possibility. So just a single.
So Kashif Ali comes in to strike. He's been there for some time. 10 balls. He's only scored 7. And Kashif Ali, he's finding problems, finding the boundary at this stage of the game. That's not good for this batting team. We're still Rashawn Primus and Kemal Leverock back in the shade.
Still in the hut. The last 10 deliveries have scored 8 runs at a stage where they need 16 and over.
Oh, absolutely smashed from Ravinder Paul Singh. And that has gone all the way. A tidy start to the over, but perhaps missing his length here is Daniel Bell Drummond.
Well, here you see again, knocking it in short, but planting that front foot, opening himself up and mowing it away over the top of mid-wicket. So a big 6, that's very welcome. Now another 40 runs needed in the last 13 balls. At 6 more.
So full toss and swung away nicely here from Ravinder Paul Singh. He has gone up to 36 from just 16 balls and brings the equation down to 34 in 2 overs, Brian.
Wow, 169 for 4. Look at that. Down on one knee and taking full advantage of that full toss. And I'll tell you what, he closed the over out well. 14 runs coming from that over. 169 for 4.
And Brian, those 8 balls you spoke about not too long ago, how cheap they were?
Yes.
That has a big telling on this game. 34 to win in 2 overs. So Roman Reyes, 3 of us know him, none for 14. Very tidy stuff. And we'll come into bowl to Kashif Ali. Kashif Ali will have to do some of those heavy lifting, or at least get Ravinder Paul Singh back on strike quickly. Oh, he's helped himself with a ball sliding down the leg side. He has not found the gap. They'll come back for a couple of runs. Every run will count.
Every run counts. I tell you what, you usually as captain give this over to your best bowler. You want this over with 32 more runs needed from the last 11 balls of this match. You want this over to go for no more than 7 or 8.
Yeah, you're right on that. Many games have been won or lost in the 19th over. So good comeback delivery here from Roman Reyes. Still 32 to win from 10 balls. They'll need a very big over from here. But the fact is, Roman Reyes, he's not that easy of a customer.
Not at all. Kashif Ali, 10 from 12. He has to get going here.
So they'll get a single, bring Ravinder Paul Singh back on strike. He has batted extremely well, 36 from just 16 balls. And it comes down to the last 31 runs. 9 balls remaining, still a lot of wickets in hand. Russian Primus and Kemal Leverok still waiting for their turn to come. And the big question, why hasn't they factored in so far? Oh, that's a lovely shot off the bat of Ravinder Paul Singh. Has he found the gap? Yes, he has. In front of fielder number 4. And that has gone away for 4. This man could bring it home.
Oh, that is Daniel Bell Drummond out there on the boundary who was not able to get to that. Look at him open the face and get that ball in that gap. Daniel Bell Drummond having some 20 or so yards to go to his right, but not able to get to it. 4 valuable runs. Another 27 run needed from 8.
The question is how much they will leave for the last over. It's 27 in 2 balls. They'll need boundaries here to make it manageable in the last over.
Oh!
Smashed over the square leg area, and that's gone far. And that's gone for a 6 off the bat of Ravinder Paul Singh. He's turning this match on its head. He goes up to 46.
The question to be asked, Lenny, look at this replay. If you have the ability to bowl the perfect Yorker, why are you bowling that ball? That is a hit me ball, not great pace, and absolutely plowed away in front of mid-wicket. Goes all the way for 6. I think Roman Reyes will regret not sticking to his plan of bowling full and straight. That worked so well for him in the last over that he bowled. But so far, 13 runs conceded in this over with 1 ball to come. What happens on this last ball will be extremely important. Still 21 runs adrift. Do you go into the last over needing 15 or needing 17? That's doable.
If this one goes for 6, with the way Ravinder Paul Singh is plundering this bowling, it will make it 14 in the last 6 balls, which is pretty possible.
Oh, definitely.
Roman Reyes will have to bowl a quality delivery here to keep it around 20 runs and over. It's going to be tough for the batting team. Well, let's see what happens. 13 in this over so far. Here's Roman Reyes to Ravinder Paul Singh. Oh, he gets a good delivery. He is intent on keeping strike more than anything else. But that's a quality delivery to finish up over number 19. So 20 left in 6 balls. It's 183 for 4. So who will be given the final over here, Brian? 6 balls to be bowled. Mohammed Asif has walked up to the Mohammed Asif has walked up to a bowling position, but he's not part of the committee who selects who bowls his last over. He's not invited to that meeting.
Maybe he was trying to select himself. Boy.
So they've thrown the ball. Is this Saif Zaib?
It is Shahid Ahmedzai. Shahid Ahmedzai has been asked to bowl the last over, 20 runs to get. Is this a big roll of the dice?
So Ahmedzai give him the final 6 balls, 20 runs to win. They've got to contend with Ravinder Paul Singh, the former Canadian international. Slow left arm orthodox.
Wow.
That's the bowling type to describe Shahid Ahmedzai. And let's see what he has done so far. 2 overs, no win, none for 29. And you back this man to bowl the last over.
Wow. And remember, this is a synthetic surface, so you're not going to get much turn. So that, to an extent, negates the potential advantage of a left-hander turning the ball away from the righties.
So Ravinder Paul Singh, he's up on 46.
Wow.
Of just 19 balls, 5 6s and 2 4s. Oh, outside the off-stump, called a wide. So some arms exercise here for Brian Kane.
Fire Brian Kane increasing the tension around the ground.
So 19 to win. Into the onside. They will run quickly. The fielder comes around. And that's a good pickup. Two runs here to Ravinder Paul Singh. 17 to win.
17 from 5. It is absolutely still doable. And the man who you want on strike is Ravinder Paul Singh, now up to 48 from 20. 2 4s and 5 6s. What does he have in store for us?
And this Group C hangs in the balance here for the Raiders Unlimited. A win here will certainly give them a playoff contention. Top edge. Fielder runs around. Mohammed Asif. And he takes the catch. Ravinder Paul Singh falls for 48. And you get the feeling with 17 required in 3 balls, Brian. This wicket here might have been the blow.
Well, they say it's not over till the fat lady sings, but I think she's warming up. This is just a top edge, and a professional cricketer from Pakistan, played several tests and ODIs for Pakistan. He's not going to drop that. Pretty simple catch in the end, and so the 5th wicket goes down. The score now 186 for 5. More importantly, it is only 3 balls remaining.
So
Check that. Yeah, 3 balls remaining. 4 balls remaining. My apologies. And still another 17 runs adrift.
So Leverock comes to the middle. And don't be fooled that Leverock is batting at number 7. It means nothing. This man can strike the ball. I've seen him bat at the top of the order. He has represented Bermuda several times. And he comes in here with a pressure situation, 17 required from 4 balls.
Bear in mind, with the regulations that we talked about earlier, the new batter on strike, I think, listen, it may be the case that it might have been more advantageous that the righty was on strike, because if there's any turn, it will be into Leverock, who is a big hitter. So he may actually prefer to be the one on strike coming in.
So 17 in 4 balls. Leverock faces his first ball. They require 17 runs and over. And he goes and he smashes this one into the onside. Fielder takes the catch. It's a very well executed catch. And another wicket goes down. Leverock on first ball.
Leverock nailed that. But unfortunately for him, no height. Power but no height. And that took some catching in the outfield. Absolutely hammered. And that fielder down there at mid-wicket took it down maybe about knee height. Really clean catch. Pressure catch under the situation. Another wicket goes down. And Leverock does not want to walk out off, but he's going to have to. Still 17 runs adrift. Does Roshan Primus have 3 6s in him?
So 17 to win in 3 balls. All of a sudden, Shahid Ahmad Zai, he's on a hat trick.
Wow.
And so it all comes down to the latter stages here. 17 to win. A win here for the Raiders Unlimited will put them on even point setting as 2 other teams in this group. And it all comes down to the last 3 balls. 17 runs to win. 186 for 6.
Well, the equation is pretty straightforward. You need 3 6s. And you need them from Roshan Primus. If there are no extras bowled, 3 6s is the only thing that will allow the Scorpions to win this match. And there's always time to second guess. You can always go back and think who should have come in where. But at this stage, in order to win this match, the Scorpions absolutely need for the big man from Barbados to knock 3 out of the park.
So Ahmad Zai is on a hat trick. Would have taken the wicket of Ravinder Paul Singh and Leverock, and straight away this man gets to work and hammers this one through the offside. And that has gone away for 4. Roshan Primus, first day on the job.
First on the job, and he gets 4. Ordinarily, that's a very good thing. But what it means, though, Lenny, is that now 13 are needed from 2. At best, 2 6s here tie the game. And I'll leave it to somebody who makes more money than me to figure out the permutations at that stage. But the number one issue right now for Amidzai is that he cannot bowl any extras. That's 6.
Russian Primus has timed this one well and is out of the playing area by some yards.
Wow. So 6 to tie. Look at this. Roshan Primus, all the power in the world, and hammers it over long off. Flying away for 6. A 6 here ties things up.
Yes, Brian. What is a T20 tournament without a super over game?
Now, what is going through the mind of Shahid Ahmedzai? Because not only does he not want to bowl a hit me ball, but he absolutely does not need any extras. If there's a wide or, God forbid, a no ball, things could really get out of control very quickly.
The question is, might be itching to ask, how come Russian Primus hasn't factored into this batting order? So here we go, final ball, 7 runs needed. Oh!
It is a wide! So now a 6 wins this game, Lenny. The one thing that he did not want to do was bowl a wide. And he just delivered it down the leg side, which means that a 6 at this stage, and it is driven down the ground. Anticlimactic finish. Wow.
So Raiders Unlimited clinch this one by 4 runs, coming down to the last ball to decide this game. Had this ball gone for 6, it would have been a dramatic chase. Certainly finished off by Russian Primus. In the end, Ahmedzai holds his nerve.
Oh!
And that final ball had everything to do concerning this match.
Absolutely. Just looking at the scorecard, Aaron Banke, 61 from 44, leading things. And you had Ravinder Pal Singh, who tried valiantly, 48 from 21. Nitish Kumar chipping in with 29, and Delray Rawlins, 28. But that is all that you had from the batting. They needed a little bit more. They needed someone to stroke an additional boundary along the way. Did not happen. And the bowling card, when it comes up, I'll tell you, you have to give credit to Shahid Ahmedzai, who held his nerve at the end. Ends up 2 for 44, going for 14.67, but he held his nerve when it counted. And John Ross Jagisar with 1 wicket, Daniel Bell Drummond with 1, and everybody else going for some runs. But I'll tell you what, it makes all the difference in the world for the players to hold their nerve when it counts, and that's exactly what Shahid Ahmedzai did.
All right, so that will conclude the league stage and another enthralling days of cricket at the Atlanta Open. If you want to follow what happens in the playoff, you can go to PVCC Cricket Clubs, and all the information there about the qualifying teams and the seedings of the teams and who will play what come tomorrow. We have certainly enjoyed bringing this coverage to you. Continuing coverage of the Atlanta Open will continue tomorrow, Brian. We appreciate your presence and your viewership and hope you enjoy the feed today. On behalf of all of us and the production team, we want to say good afternoon from Atlanta and hope you'll join us tomorrow. Until then, goodbye and good evening.